gorgeous older women in Atlanta. It's beautiful. I went and got me a little haircut from the Dominicans. Now I look Hispanic. I'm with it. What's wrong?
Nah, I'm about to put the live on Instagram too. Why not?
Let's do it. Why not?
If y'all can hear us, I guess drop something in the comments. This is new. My guy JS1 is in town, so he's like, yo, let's come to the studio and do it. It ain't like I would want it because I would want all the cameras switching and stuff. But we here Dolo. That shows you the dedication that we have to this. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
And for the creatives that always make excuses, it's showing you there's no excuses because I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna do the one camera, so hopefully hopefully we can be entertaining enough for y'all not to
switch off.
Yeah, lose interest because people are so short attention span.
For real?
Yeah, that's why the camera angles are so important.
Nah, yo, all you gotta do is show them your abs, yo. That's it, yo. The ladies will be glued all afternoon. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Yo, the studio is beautiful. Yo, you got it. Yo, this dude's super official. The last building was fire, but this one is crazy.
This building is fire.
Yeah,
it'd be expensive though. But whatever.
Yeah, who you telling? I already know. You know what I mean? Yo, I just want y'all to know he driving a Tesla. Oh, he Hollywood now, man. Like, yo,
I'm not Hollywood, bro.
I'm just waiting for me to pull up, and you got the chauffeur. I pull up in the minivan rental. He pull up in the Tesla, system blasted. I was like, that's my guy, man. What was you driving the last time I came down? You was driving a
No, I got a Kia.
Yeah.
I still got that.
For real?
Yeah, I got the Kia.
All right, that's what's up. Shout out to the times changing. It was nothing but a year and some change ago when we came down.
I mean, ain't nothing changed too much.
Whatever. What you like 30 pounds lighter now?
Oh yeah. No,
30 pounds. Yo, I'm looking at you. I'm like,
no, you're right.
I'm not used to you being this skinny, yo. And not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just, I'm used to you looking like you about to go boxing. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you about to.
I feel it's funny because now I feel like I want to go box now. Like I've been looking for a trainer. It's weird because I'm smaller, but like I feel good. My body is, I feel better. I feel like I look better. You know what I'm saying? So like now I actually want to go boxing. I actually feel like I'm having like a midlife crisis almost.
But you ain't at the mid part of your life yet. You having an early midlife crisis?
I think so.
Why are you having a midlife crisis?
Because I'm starting not to give a damn about nothing. Like I'm starting to like.
I thought that was what we all trying to get to.
That's a good thing. I'm saying in a good way. Like I feel like I'm starting to do everything that I always wanted to do. Like I'm about to box. I might even try to get a boxing match. Like I might try to get a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just doing things that I probably wish I would have done when I was a kid.
Please don't tell us last minute. I want to be there. If you boxing, I'm flying down. Like I want to be front row for that.
Now I don't be nervous. So like I love stuff like that. Like, yo, I'm gonna call everybody.
I think that'll be hard, bro.
Yeah, I definitely
can we videotape it?
Yeah, I want to try to get a fight. I want to try to get a fight. I want to run a marathon. I just feel like I'm doing everything that I never thought about running a marathon when I was younger, but like even the way I'm posting, I'm loving it. Like I post whatever. Like if I like it, I just post it. Whereas before, it would be like if I don't know, I had to make sense like for the page. Now it's like if I like it, I post it. I don't care.
So you want to do a 5K or a 10K?
I want to do a marathon. That's like 20.
Because
a 5K is 3 laps. I mean, a 5K is 3 miles. 10K is 6 miles. 12 miles is 12 miles is 20. So it's 23 miles, I think. So it'd be 20-ish, like 25. Okay, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a lot, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You really think you're ready for it? Or?
Yeah, I think I could do it. Because like I tell people all the time, like, bro, you could finish. That's why I love running. Like, because you could finish, you could walk.
Right.
Ain't nobody stopping you from walking.
Right.
Maybe your pride, but guess what? That's better because now you finish, you do better next time.
Facts.
You know where you know where you started walking at, so you know where not to start working at next time.
All right.
Even if you walk a mile after. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so my question is, how much are you running now? Like when, on an average day, and you push yourself.
I'm about to do on an average day. I probably just try to do 4 or 5 a day for real. But I'm like, my goal for this month is 100 miles. So I'm at 50 right now. So today I'm gonna try to do I probably try to do like 6, depending on what time we stop this. I want to get 10. I wanted to get 10 more before tomorrow, so I could be at 60, so I can be ahead of the curve. Because right now I'm on pace for 100. And like I hate being on pace because I might have a bad day You feel me?
Right.
Like right now, the way I'm going now is like you gotta get out there
and make it happen, regardless whether it's raining or whatever.
You feel me?
It's been gloomy outside.
Yeah, so like, but I could get 50 done. I could get 50 done in the next 2 weeks. I could do that.
You out there with the baby carriage? You pushing the baby while you running?
I need that though. That's why I haven't been doing as many miles because I had Alani more this past couple weeks. So it is what it is. I'm gonna get out there, man. Yeah, man. I feel
that's good. Fire. That's fire. You going through a midlife crisis, and I'm going through family evolution. I think this is just a time of change in general. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, it's crazy for me. I buried my uncle.
Sorry to hear that.
On Monday. I appreciate that. It's all good. And then like yesterday, my nephew graduated from high school. Like 2 completely different swings. You know what I mean? Both of them, like in my family though, both of them celebrations. Because like my family, we loved our uncle. Like when we was in the funeral, I don't want to sound morbid or crazy, but my family not the big crying type. And that was something that I even kind of felt weird in the funeral. Like we giggling, but it's like that at every funeral we go to because we not criers. And like we all kept saying the same thing. He lived a full life. Bro, he did everything he wanted to do. He made bread. He had new cars. He traveled, like 2 wives. You know what I'm saying? Like beautiful life. And then
wait, 2 wives at the same time?
No, not at the same time. No, he ain't that gangster. But like, you know what I'm saying? But like he had been married to my aunt for 50 years. She passed away suddenly. And then like a year later, he popped up with a new wife. Like they do 10 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right before, you know what I mean? And she was there for him when he passed. But like it was a beautiful thing. But it was definitely a little weight on my heart. But then to come and then like see my nephew graduate and I'm trying to remember like what was it like for me when I graduated? Like, you know what I mean? They asking him stuff at the dinner like, yeah, so how do you feel like about the transition? I'm sitting here myself like
I ain't even processed it yet.
I hadn't processed it. Like, you know what I mean? I think I was so happy to just not have to do homework. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm planning in my mind. All right, me and my boys gonna go down to Paradox. Yeah, I mean, I probably could go get a slice of pizza down Baltimore Street on my own. Like I'm about to go. In my mind, I wasn't even thinking about the future. But like these kids, my nephew, they sitting at the table talking about like school, and I just want to be better than I was before. I'm proud of that, but I'm also kind of concerned because I'm just like, bro, I want y'all to achieve, do big things,
live your life,
but live, bro.
But I mean, I feel like that comes with time, though. I think, like I was just talking about the midlife crisis thing in a joking manner, but I think a part of being young, and I don't know if you told me this, but a part of being young is having that ambition, right? Like that comes with it. So like we can't look back on it like, man, just live your life because we didn't, and I don't think that's ever going to be the case. And it's funny because I was doing an interview with this guy, and he broke it down in the best way that I ever heard before. And he was like, man, a lot of times these things is a necessity, right? Like I was talking about like the power of like just going broke and getting it back. Like how can we teach the people after us so they don't have to go through the same mistakes? And he was like, the truth of the matter is they got to go through the mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And the easiest way to really embrace it is to go with it. It's like a current. It's like if you get caught in the current, you waste more energy trying to go away from the current to save yourself when at that point, you might as well just allow yourself to flow and hopefully it washes you up on land, right? And it's just, yeah, man.
But another thing I tell people is like, when you one of those guys that have done it, you are less judgmental, number one. But number two, you do start reevaluating what the man is, or like if you're the guy, like, oh yeah, so all right, that's cool. It's cool when you had the momentum coming off of high school and the college and then into your regular life to become successful, but did you lose it all and then go homeless and then fight your way back and then rebuild it back up and then become that dude again? Like how many times can you become that dude or that woman? Like realistically, like, you know what I mean? Could you lose everything, and then lose all your friends and everybody turning back on you, and you still get up and you make it back and then you get right back in and go further than that? To me, that's the definition of somebody that's impenetrable. Like you are truly bulletproof.
It's crazy because I always say like that's the definition of a man or character. True character is shown in moments of adversity and what you do through adversity. And like although that's good, you get what I'm saying? I can never, not can never, but like when you go through it, it never feels good. Like granted, coming out of it, looking back on it, retrospect is always 2020, right? Looking back on something is always 2020. But when you going through it, it definitely hurt. But I guess like you got to remember those times. Like I think that's what separates like the strong from the weak. When you can understand that the sun is coming out the next day, right? Like because we all go through the same things. We all go through pain. We all go through trauma. But it's who you are is how you deal with that pain, right? So like what makes you strong, mentally strong, is like I know that the sun's going to come out tomorrow. So let me stay grounded in where I'm at and who I am, so I don't make a decision that's going to make it worse for tomorrow. So like, no, I think that's real.
There's a lot of internal stuff. Like, so when I've gone through some of my darkest moments, the biggest issues were me beating me up and me saying, how could I have let this happen? Or why didn't you? Well, you felt like you saw it coming. Why didn't you turn earlier or make a better decision? That's the worst part. The other part that I love is like, I actually have always loved being able to see who is really with me and who's really not. Like what's really on my side and what's not. And at the worst times is when I get to sit back and not even be upset at somebody if they choose differently. Like, you know what I mean? If you want to move left, that's cool. Or if you want to move right, that's cool. But I love when I see the ones that I bet on, that I will put my money on, and they right there, and I'm like, yeah, that's my man's, or no, that's my homegirl. Like those are the ones where I be like, that's my sister or that's my brother or whatever. It's like, man, like even like my own family members, I am always proud when I see my brothers stand with me. You know what I mean? And we go through stuff, and I could go through fairly, and they could be like, nigga, I told you 1,000 times, you know this was going to happen, but they like, come on, man, let me get you back straight. Like this time, don't make the mistakes. To me, I think that's the most awesome part about going through a low. See who's really going to stand with you, because you need to see where your real base is. You know what I mean? Like, and like that's when it's like I hate to see it. I mean, I'm not trying to put a positive spin on Diddy, but like
I was just about to go into that.
I was just about to say, like, him going through what he going through, I know he's sitting back looking like, all right, who's taking shots? Who's not taking my phone call? Who's not going to be around? You know what I mean? I'm going through the worst moment of my life. And like, I'm constantly thinking, like, if I'm Diddy, like, how am I maneuvering in this? You know what I mean? Number one, you had a bad situation before the video came out. But that video came out, and the first thing I said is, and I've never said this before about Diddy, I was like, it's over, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the first thing I said was, man, he a pussy. That's the first thing I said. But at the same time, I think things, you react different, like in a moment, emotions, right? But like it was some whole shit to do. It just is what it is. Like, and that doesn't define who you are, it defines who you were, right? So like I still stand on that. That was some whole shit to do. But not shortly after, I went to the group chat and I was like, yo, I just hope he come out and apologize. It's on camera. Like I feel like in today's times, like speaking on things is so like so shunned upon for some reason. Like just let it go, or just they'll forget it, it'll blow over. Like, no, what about your character, right? Like if you did something, bro, just apologize.
Right.
And I seen apology today, and I thought, again, I thought it was refreshing that he did it, because in today's age, we don't get a lot of that shit. People saying that he only apologized because the tape came out. It don't really mean anything because you were saying you were so innocent and things like that. But it's like, okay, I understand that, right? But it's like, if he's saying he's innocent of sex trafficking is one thing, right?
Right.
Him coming out and apologizing, he owned it. He said, yo, that was me. I was in a fucked up time in my life. You know what I'm saying? I went to got therapy, and I literally said this in the chat, because we are nobody to judge somebody else's situations. I've got drunk. I've never like stomped a chick, you know what I'm saying? Ran up and punched the chick. I never done that. But I've done some things that other people can look at me and judge me for. You get what I'm saying? So I'm never going to strip away from the human side of somebody. Not saying that I would do that. Not saying that I condone that. Not saying that I agree with that. That was wild, and that was some whole shit to do. You know what I'm saying? No matter who you are. And I stand on that. But I do understand that people are human and we make fucked up decisions as humans.
Agreed.
You get what I'm saying? So like, no, that wasn't okay. But I do like the fact that he apologized, and I think that's a step forward.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? And yeah, man, like I think, I don't know, I wish we could, as a but like I was about to say, like we have especially when we living in a time where so many people can get caught red-handed and still don't apologize.
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly to this day has never just took ownership and saying, yo, I did that to them little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it would have changed how he felt, not saying Diddy's apology changed how people feel about Diddy, but at least as a man, I don't know, as a man, bro, I grew up learning that men take accountability for our actions. That's the least you can do. That's the bare minimum as a man that you do. So when we see people like Diddy, when we see people like I don't know, Weinstein, like it's so many people who've done messed up things in the world who don't even apologize and don't even give you that clarity or that closure. The fact that this man came up and said, yo, that was messed up. I was wrong for that. I apologize. I think that's a step in the direction. Now, if people accept it or not, that's for them to accept. And I think that's what comes with consequences. Cool. And I feel like as a man, you also have to be okay. Not okay, because we might not be okay, but I think you have to live with the consequences from your mistakes. You have to live with the consequences that your decisions have given you, right? And you might not like it, but that's what you got to do as a man. And I think that I'm not going to say if the people should accept it or not, because that's on the people, depending on your experiences with trauma, domestic violence. You might not deserve an apology from some people, but the fact that he apologized, I just think it was a step in the forward direction.
One thing I'm gonna say, I completely agree with you on that. And it kind of goes into something that I've been bothered about for a few years, especially since we've gotten into this whole cancellation culture. My question has always been, how long is a person supposed to be punished for the old versions of themselves? So if I was a kid freshman year in college, which was for me 26 years ago, and I cheated on my girl, am I supposed to be called a cheater for the rest of my life because of that? Can I come out, apologize, and take steps to, move away from that part of my life? Like, I think we all deserve to, if we hold ourselves accountable, if we are willing to pay the price for whatever, sin we did, and we work to show ourselves to be changed and different, is there a way for us to relinquish that part of our past and be, considered a respectable person? And I'm not even talking about for Diddy. I'm talking about for any one of us. Like, we all have skeletons in our closet. And if we are so trigger happy to want to take down any person for anything they did wrong. And I'll give you an example. I'm online last night, and Van Lathan is getting taken to task because Cassie wanted to do an interview with him at one time.
Yeah, and I think he denied it because Diddy was his friend or something like that.
Right. So he was saying, all right, so she said, well, he didn't want to do it because he's friends with Diddy. He said, his response was, number one, he said, hey, if by me not taking an interview, I hurt you in some kind of way, I apologize. He was like, however, let me clarify what I said, because I think she misconstrued my statements. He said, hey, at the time I was negotiating a deal with Revolt.
Yeah.
He had been aggressively pursuing me to come work with him. So when you come to me with an allegation that you have no evidence for,
it don't make sense for me, my business.
It doesn't make sense for me and my business. He was like, number one, and number two, he's like, I'm not a gotcha person. I don't do, he's like, because you didn't come to me with evidence, I don't do gossip. I don't do allegations. He was like, that's not the type of news that I do. You know what I mean? And he was like, the second part was like, she was saying that she brought somebody else. Oh, Sin Santana, which is Joe's baby mom. So she said, well, he gave up Sin's location so Joe could go after her. That's not true. Van Lathan said, he came to me. This young lady came to me with Sin and said, hey, Sin wants to do an interview about her music. He said, cool. He was like, however, he has a rule. If I'm doing business with somebody's spouse or somebody's, person, he's like, I was not aware that they had broken up. I did not know that there was issues going on. Hey, I reached out to my guy that I have a relationship with, and I'm just saying, hey, Santana's going to come through, or like, this is a situation. Joe expressed his, hey, I don't want her to come through right now, and that was the exchange, and then like he ends up doing whatever to Santana, but he was like, you guys didn't tell me there was an issue. So I'm just following a normal protocol. That's like, and I'll give you guys an example. If Sade was to come to me and be like, yo, let me come sit on Aries Lounge for whatever the situation may be. She got a clothing line, she got makeup. I'm still gonna be like, yo, Charlie gonna be in town, yo, yo, I'm just letting you know she gonna come through. Yo, if you need me to do, hey, does she like to drink tea? Does she like to? I'm gonna check with my mans.
Yeah,
because I'm
gonna do that too. Like, I mean, I feel like a lot of times people they get caught up in like this industry stuff and forget about how we move in real life. Exactly. And that has nothing to do with the other person. Like, I could have much love for Sade or whoever your significant other, whatever. I could have that love for them, but at the same time, my loyalty lies with my friend. Exactly. And that's just I feel like we should know that.
But you know what's crazy? A lot of people don't operate that way. You know what I mean? You might walk in and your girl be selling and your homeboy be like, what's the problem? Like, she just came by. Like, wait a minute. Number one, she shouldn't just be coming by.
Right.
You know what I'm
why
saying?
Do you
Number
feel
two,
so comfortable to just
in the
absence of me.
It's the same thing when like people, I remember when one of my most recent ex, and like one of my homeboys was around and she was like giving my homeboy the phone number, and my homeboy like too cool with it. And I didn't beef with him, but I was like, bro, like, he was like, nah, yo, she offered me the number and all that. I'm like, what you need her number for?
Right, like what?
You know what I'm saying? If your girl and her and she gonna talk, that's one thing. But you know what I mean? I'm like, I make it even if somebody give me their phone number, if somebody homegirl give me their phone number, I still call my homeboy to get to her.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, is your girl around, or but this is like?
I want to go back to your question. It's funny because I used to ask that question. Is basically, how do you relinquish the negative stigma of an action that you've done? And I think just as me living with it for some time, because like I said, I asked myself the same question. I don't think is no statute of limitation to public perception, because people always want to judge you for what they deem is right or not. Whole time, like we said, people have tons of skeletons in their closet. So although there's no statute of limitation to public perception, there is one for yourself. And that's why they say, like, you know, it's super important to apologize to other people and forgive other people, but it's more important to forgive yourself. Because the more you learn to forgive yourself, then you don't care about the outside noise, right? Because we all make mistakes, but that's what makes us, I think that's how we can be empathetic with people, right? Because we understand that we're able to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. So like, I know, because like Diddy, for example, I know I've gotten drunk and did some wild things. I've never punched no chick, stomped no chick. I can assure you that, right? But at the same time, I know it was times where I've done some things that embarrassed my friends, that embarrassed my significant other, that I probably wasn't the most proud of. You know what I'm saying? Like some things where I might have got misunderstood and it just looked bad. So who am I to judge somebody else, right? And even in that moment, I say, like, that's why I say I stand on saying that was some hoe ass shit, because just because what you do what you do doesn't mean that's who you are, right? Because I probably did some weak ass shit millions of times. That don't mean make me a weak ass nigga. Was I weak in that moment? Of course. Could I got better? Yes. Did I? Of course. You feel me? So it's like, nah, it ain't no statute of limitation to public perception, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, these niggas ain't paying your bills. These niggas ain't going to get the help you doing. All you know is they on the internet reacting to some entertainment because it's entertaining to them. But who are they when they shut their phone down? They probably just as miserable, probably more miserable than you. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think as individuals, especially as men, I can't speak for everybody, but especially as men, I think we got to do a better job at loving ourselves, and not in a cliche way, but in the most serious way of like understanding that, bro, our actions or our past don't define who we are in the present, right? As long as you're doing what you got to do to be better. And I think that's just something that I had to learn around the line, because, and it's funny because you helped me with this. Well, not you, but the OJ story. Right. Because like me doing my research and that, not the ramble or whatever, but me doing my research and that, I understood the type of person he was. And I saw me and a lot of myself in that. Like, he just wanted the world to see that he was a good person. But him wanting the world to see that he was a good person drew him to doing some crazy things, right? And it's like, bro, like, you can't move like that. You got to be okay with yourself, because if you're not okay with yourself, everything else you're doing is not for you. And the moment they don't accept you, you're going to do something off the wall or crazy, and you can never live like that. You get what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I just felt like I was somebody who thought like, damn, bro, like, we all make mistakes. Are you telling me 10 years from now, you still gonna look at me as the same person? I'm still a cheater. Like, I still, just because I don't know, I stole when I was a kid, I ain't know nobody. You still look at me as that same person. But at the end of the day, them outsiders don't matter, because, and it's the sad part about it, the closest people to you still can never let go of the person you once were, right? It be your own spouse who still look at you as who you met them as, right? And to who the person they grew into be. So like if your loved ones can't even look past it, a stranger can't look past it.
That's a fact. A big issue that I have, not issue that I have, but the issue I have with certain people on a certain level of their life is when you see everything in whatever the title or the article says, that's your judgment for the person.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's Diddy did this, and it's like, oh, he's a piece of trash. I'm about time. And then everywhere we go, that same person starts judging everybody based off of whatever the surface level is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, to me, that's a sign of a person that is still in pain, that's still ashamed of their own their own things, and they can't evolve past this kind of let me define everything and put it in a box.
Mm-hmm.
The world isn't in a box, like meaning that the world isn't what we perceive it to be.
No.
Nothing is what we perceive it to be. You aren't who you perceive. I am not. And you do not deserve my judgment, regardless of how I perceive. What I need to be doing is getting up every day and moving in a way that makes me amenable to understanding what is in front of me. So like if I see that you are in pain, my job is not to judge your pain. My job is to help you alleviate that pain so that you can function. Yo, if you make a mistake, I should not be judgmental about you making a mistake. I should help you hold yourself accountable and let me help you grow past this so that you don't make the same mistakes again. But the problem is that we are so surrounded by people who are, well, like I said, subject to their programming. You are stuck in a programmer's box where every day it's either you good or you bad. I'm a good person and you a bad person. And you know what I mean? It's like, bro, we need to stop that. We all live and make mistakes. You're going to trip over something. You might put some extra ketchup in your pocket, or, you know what I mean? Like, we've all stolen. We've all done our girl wrong or taken an extra whatever when they could. Like, bro, but we we have to. If you want to evolve and really become a truly happy and productive person, you have to learn how to let go. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say, you're absolutely right. Well, I'm a shameless plug. Shout out to my guy, Wolf. I was reading The Art of Accountability, and most of the book is basically about how to have accountability within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing you said that stood out to me was like, you don't deserve my judgment. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I wouldn't agree with that. I'm gonna push back a little bit, because at the end of the day, yes, we should. The last part you said was we should do what we have to do with ourselves to get healing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's true. But at the same time, the other perspective is true as well. If I do something and the world judges me for it, I deserve that because that's what my actions permitted. If that makes sense. So
me levying judgment on you based on something you've done wrong. Me holding you accountable is one thing. Mm-hmm. Me constantly, emotionally judging you over and over isn't appropriate.
But I'm saying it's not appropriate from you. From within, from introspection.
Correct.
So, but is deserving of me. So I'm not saying that you should continue to do that to be that doesn't make you a better person. If you do that, that's what you to deal with, mm-hmm. right? But whoever does do that to me is with me to deal with because my actions permitted that.
Okay, I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying. Even if because at that point I'm wrong for projecting.
Yes,
but. You know what I'm saying? You can't then in turn be like, why are you doing that? No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. You have to deal with the repercussions of your action.
Exactly.
That's 100%.
Exactly.
And people who are stuck in their program and treating you a certain way is a part of that because you triggered a person.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, that person is still responsible for how they react to them being triggered.
100%.
So and that's the part that gets tricky with a lot of people. Is a lot of people don't understand the nuance of what we're talking about. A lot of people feel like they are justified in expressing their triggered emotions.
Yep.
And that is inappropriate. It is nothing wrong with you being triggered. Somebody saying something and but it is your responsibility how you release that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So and when once again, I had a conversation yesterday. I'm with my nephew's grandparents on his mother's side. And we're sitting down at dinner and the grandmother is saying she's in retirement. And she's telling me, and I promise I'm not trying to get off the subject, but she's saying that, I'm so sick and tired of being retired. I want to find something to do. And I said, no. I said, that's a problem. I said, that's a problem in our community is that we define ourselves by what we do. So when you relinquish that responsibility now, you feel like you have no purpose. I said, you need to stop yourself and understand that when that emotion hits, that is a trigger. When you're sitting there and you start getting relaxed, and then you get that moment where you realize, I ain't doing something. Oh, I need to be doing something. That's the moment you need to stop yourself and go, why do I not deserve to relax? Why do I not deserve to have a hobby? I said, there's nobody said you couldn't. I'm not saying you can't pot plants. You can't volunteer. You can't spend time with your grandchildren. There's a million things that you could do. If you've earned yourself enough income to where it is not necessary for you to run out the door to pay bills, you should be able to find things within this existence that not only you enjoy yourself, but you can enrich the lives of others. Or even if you don't want to enrich the lives of others, you can find ways to enjoy yourself without having to go find a job to do that for you. Because she was just like, oh my God. She said, I always felt like it was necessary for me to do something so that I could feel like I'm a valuable part of society. And I'm like, no, you are valuable within the society, whether you have a job or you don't have a job.
Yeah. Thanks.
Your existence and your wisdom
makes you valuable.
Now, take the age out of it and put you into it. If you don't have a job this second and you waking up every day going, once again, if the bills are being taken care of, the responsibility being taken care of, and you wake up and you just want to meditate all day, or if you want to just take a run, you're not wrong for that. However, understand that if you have goals, those goals have time requirements, have work requirements, but do not allow those goals and those things that you need to do to define your complete self.
No, facts. I want to get back on P. Diddy real quick.
Go ahead, let's do it.
So we talked about things like understanding and humanizing people's actions and things like that. But how do we hold someone like this accountable? Like what does accountability look like for someone, not even just P. Diddy, who does an extreme action like this? Like he ran up on her, to punched her, threw her to the ground, and stomped her.
He ran down a hallway.
Yes.
Went through a door and then did all of that. Which was insane. While being buck naked with a bath towel on.
Yes.
Crazy.
Then paid for the footage not to come out.
And then paid for the footage not to come out. And it still came out. So that's just a reminder. How much you pay, shit can still happen.
So what does accountability look like?
I would like to say, number one, that our system of justice is not created for rehabilitation. Meaning that the space that he would need to be allowed to operate in for him to be stripped down, because think about it, this is not an isolated incident. I'm quite sure that there are other incidents of him being physically abusive, emotionally, mentally abusive. There has to be a time when you are removed from society, and once you are removed, you are given the space so that you could hold yourself accountable for every indiscretion. Once you go through those indiscretions, then it's almost like Alcoholics Anonymous. You're gonna go, there's a point where you admit that you have a problem. Then you review your life and what you've done to hurt yourself and to hurt others. And then the next step is you go to those people and you ask forgiveness. Hey, I screamed on you. Hey, I threw you out of this, or hey, I shot you. Hey, I blah, blah, blah. No matter whom it was, there should be a time where he should go around to every person that he has an indiscretion with, and then he should seek for forgiveness. Hey, this is what I remember I've done to you. You know what I mean? How have I affected your life? How may I have hurt you? This should not be about monetary gain. So every person he goes to shouldn't be like, I need $1 million. Like, this should be a real conversation of, hey, I hurt you. You can tell me, what did I do to you? How I've hurt you, and let that person really have to soak in what the impact of their actions are. And then those people, he has to, that's called, you have to, if they don't want to forgive you, you gotta eat that. But you also should take the commitment to, what do I need to do to get your forgiveness? So if I gotta go to some such to get you some cheesecake, you should be willing to do that. You know what I mean? He should be willing to go through the journey of getting forgiveness so that he could become a better person. And then there should be very visually seen efforts made to make up for that. Okay, so I've caused this much destruction. I want to plant this many trees, or I want to do this amount to, I just need to make, and I feel like over the last few years, that's what Diddy was trying to do.
With the whole love movement.
The love movement and all of the donations and all that. I feel like now, whether it had been for publicity purposes only or to cover up whatever, that's cool. There's a lot of people that did greasy stuff that ain't do nothing.
That ain't doing nothing.
To do nothing for nobody.
Yeah.
They got disappeared on a nigga. You know what I mean? And then like when it happened, it just happened. So for him to at least come out publicly and try his best to, be that better person. Also the other part is you got 5, 6 kids. How many kids? He got 6 or 7 kids. Those serious sit down conversations of, bro, I really screwed up in the past. And I don't want you to become, I don't want you to become the next generation of damage. Because you guys are way more powerful than I was at your age. So like you have the private plane life, the money, the resources, the visibility. So look, I need you to understand that, like, look at how my life has turned out. I need you to make sure that you are putting more positivity and love and beautiful into the world than pain and trauma.
Yeah. It's funny, man. I think, or not to hop around, but I seen this whole thing online about people saying, y'all got to start believing people the first time. And I still necessarily don't know if I agree with that or not, because not saying you shouldn't believe people, but I think you should move with caution. And that's the whole point of it should be innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
And that's all people were doing. That's what I think, right?
Right.
Like I think Slim Thugs, he went up online like taking up for Diddy, and then he went back and apologized. And I think he did exactly what he should have did, just apologize. That's it. I think but yeah, when you have friends, you have relationships, like, no, you shouldn't just throw your friend or anybody to the wayside just because of an allegation for all that matters. You get what I'm saying? Now, what I will say is there's people that's like been following this and had more information than I did. And I understand their perspective on it. Because I remember Sade was telling me like, no, that's been a thing. I had no clue. I'm thinking this is random. She's like, no, that's been a thing since years ago. Like we all knew about that. I'm like, well, I didn't know about that. You know what I mean? But outside of that, because that gives too much power to the accuser. Because then it's not like we don't see situations where women just lie. And no, the woman that lied that shouldn't affect all of the women or the women that really have things going with them. But we see these and so much so that the woman that lied doesn't have no consequence done to them at all. And I'm not trying to shift it at all. I'm just saying that I think when it comes down to believing people, I think this happened how it should have happened.
More.
I think Cassie came out, she said some things, right? He paid his money, and there was people on both sides, people that believed it, people that didn't believe it, right? I don't think that people should have just been so quick to judge or throw stones at this man when it was no proof. Now the proof is here. Now we are able to judge, and he should be held accountable for his actions. That's just my perspective on it. I just feel like a lot of people are saying like, nah, y'all should have been believed it. Like, don't try to switch sides now. It's like, no, I'm not about to just jump. I'm not about to just send somebody to jail because somebody said something happened, when I've seen instances where somebody said things happened and didn't happen.
Right. And I feel like it's crazy because people from the outside assume that association is close friendship.
Yeah.
If hold on, I want to throw a name out because I don't want nobody to get mad or to go crazy. Like if Damon Blue was to, I don't know, like rob a bank, you know what I'm saying? I don't want people to, like, I know Damon Blue, got his phone number. Like, we cool people. I got mad love for him. But we're associated. We're not close friends. So when people come to me like, oh, so you just think it's cool for him to just go and steal people's money. See, it's the people like you, but that's how they do. Even closer than that, even I'm not responsible for nobody behavior. Even if you my brother, if JS1 was to go out and rob a bank, like that doesn't mean I think it's okay. He did that in the absence of me. Why didn't you know to stay away from me?
Bro, I wanted to know. And
Exactly.
people are chameleons. I think I seen my man Cool Anton with it. Like, people are chameleonaires, and not even just chameleonaires. We are all different in the presence of different people.
Yes.
Like, who you are when we speak isn't who you are when you speak to your woman.
That's
who
a fact.
you are when you speak to your woman isn't who you are when you speak to your mother.
Yep.
Like, we are all different people in the absence of others. You feel me? So it's like, to try to make me guilty by association when I have no clue. Now, if I was in a car, you know what I'm saying? Like if you see me talking to him, if you know that I was aware and I cool, you know what I'm saying? But even if I'm
you
aware,
pull out the gun and the ski mask and you got the layout for the bank.
Yeah, but what I will say is to the other side is like to the people who are aware of these nasty behaviors, I think it's hard for me to see this. So I'm not gonna say it's hard for me to say. It's easy for me to say that, say what I'm about to say, but it's hard for me to see it. I'm assuming that there are men out here who know that their friends are moving foul and don't do anything about it. But because I'm not that person, it's hard for me to see that. I can acknowledge it, but I don't see where or why would a man would know that his man's is mistreating his woman and not say anything. So in my perspective, it's like I would definitely say something, but it's only so much saying I can do. Instead, I cut myself off, and then if I cut myself off, that still really doesn't do anything for the problem.
No, you remove yourself from the ability to help, to be an influence, to be a part of it. You could have been that person's lifeline to being good. And then you cut yourself out of their life and they have nothing at that point. I feel like this is my greatest thought process. I can't be, if I love Diddy, which I do from my fan perspective, and I see this person good and bad. Now that he's outed and he's canceled, I can't be friends with him. I can't want to meet this person and counsel this person. Am I not allowed to do that now? Am I not allowed to have any association with him whatsoever?
In my perspective, if there's no accountability, I would think that's kind of weird. But I think this is my opinion, I think the apology shifts things a little bit. Doesn't change what he done, but I think now if somebody wants to still like give grace to him, support him, I wouldn't be upset with that because he did take ownership in what he done. And I think that's probably the highest level of, again, being a man as you can be. I said the same thing about J. Cole. I didn't like it, what he did, right? But the fact that he came out and said, yo, that ain't me. My bad, I apologize. I feel like a lot of people that's pointing the finger, they be the same ones that ain't about to stand up and say, I apologize.
Now, with you saying that, I don't want to have no association with R. Kelly whatsoever, and I love his music. And I think it's because of what you said. The fact that man has never took an accountability for nothing makes me understand that this man is so delusional and completely out of it that there's no kind of return from that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the definition of what they call pure evil.
Yeah.
But Diddy, even before this recent public apology, did an apology before when he settled the case with Cassie. He came out and said, hey, we had, a horrible past. Things happened between us, and I'm so sorry. He had those public apologies. And of course, everybody ignored it or said that it wasn't good enough and how dare you and da-da-da-da. But if I choose to be friends with somebody, regardless of how their past is, as long as I see them being remorseful and taking steps to becoming better people, I'm understanding that. And here's the reality of it. I know there are going to be some people that are going to judge me regardless. So I don't really give a fuck. And those people need help anyway. But I refuse to live my life not being friends with people that make mistakes. Yeah, I got cousins that went to jail. I got a close friend of mine that committed murder. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop loving that person and what that person meant to me just because they made a mistake and they're paying for it. Like one is paying for it with his life. You know what I mean? But when he called home and he crying or he just want to talk about the good old days of high school,
I'm not going to not answer. I want to transition this into
go ahead.
I want to stay on apologies though.
Yeah.
Right. Cause like Soulja Boy recently came out, had an episode with 21 Savage and Metro Boomin. And I think he even said something about Metro Boomin's moms, right?
Correct.
And then he came back and apologized.
Right.
I had a conversation with I don't know if it was Young Dro, Mac Boney, and
T.I.
wasn't
that group discussion.
Yeah, but T.I. had
with
left.
Grand Hustle team.
Yeah. T.I. had left though. And they said something that was so profound, bro. And they were talking about like the importance of like standing on your decisions. Not really standing on your decision, but thinking before you act. Because a lot of people use apology as a crutch or a backbone when you can't use that all the time, because that apology don't mean the same to everybody. So you can't just lash out, do something, and then apologize and expect for me to forgive it. Nah, and I think that conversation was so profound, because on the front side of it is like, bro, I think it's so dope for somebody to be able to make a mistake and then own up to their problems and apologize. But what's more dope is for somebody to be so intentional with that behavior that they don't even put you in a compromising position or put themselves in a compromising position to have to apologize. Not saying that they're perfect, but they're intentional with that behaviors, that they're not making decisions that's going to put them in a messed up position later on down the line.
But as a wise man, and I mean, we're all at different stages of our evolution, the wiser you become, the more you can recognize a friend and how they process. So I know I have friends that have a tendency to leap before they think. And then afterwards, they'll be apologetic. I know that I have smarter friends that know they're going to be more methodical about how they move. Am I going to judge both of them equally? No. If I got, everybody knows Will. It's one of my best friends, known him for 30 years. He has a temper. When he gets pissed, he start talking ish. You know what I mean? He'll say and do things that are out of pocket, especially when he's been drinking. But that's my dog. I've seen him get out of pocket and feel mad remorseful after the fact. Damn, I ain't mean to punch that. Or damn, I ain't mean to. Jay, I said this, I ain't mean to say it. When I was younger, I would get emotional about it. Now, it don't even faze me.
But isn't that enabling though? Because at what point is it really accountability? Because the only real accountability, the only real apology is change behavior, right?
Correct.
So if you know you act this way under the influence, why continue to be under the influence? Or why have the same amount of drinks? And this is, we don't have to isolate Will at this point, but it's like for anybody. So it's like, yeah, you don't have to judge them from the same. You don't have to judge them the same, but a part of me is like, but when do you judge them the same? Because eventually you gotta know, and if you don't know, do I continue to put myself in this position?
True, but we've jumped the horse right now. Like we are talking about, we're talking about laying judgment on somebody based on decision making. I'm saying I can't judge these people the same. Now, going to your next point, I do have to work with him more, because now I have to help him develop that out of body seeing himself. So that he can change because you can't change somebody. I can't change Will, but if I can help him understand what he's doing and he gets to understanding it, then he can make decisions to change. You can't change. So I can hold you accountable and be like, yo, you wrong. But until he starts recognizing that, yo, man, I have a tendency when I drink this amount, I start doing wild, so I can't drink this amount. He's got to see that. You know what I mean? And that's why I say friendship has its ups and downs, the same way marriages and all that. Is that I can't dictate when he's gonna hit that level of understanding. The only thing I could do is continue to either leave him out of certain stuff and tell him why. See, I've never edited myself with my best friends, if you or anybody else. It's like, if I feel like you wrong, hey bro, I'm not gonna invite you to this party. Man, why you ain't nah, bro, you get too drunk. I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? And then that's when they start the second or third time they didn't get invited to something they wanted to be a part of, which is hard for Will because he don't care. Like, they get the message. All right, I ain't gonna drink. Or like, you know, hey, I stopped potting with you because or whatever. Like, these are the repercussions for the actions. I'm not gonna not be your friend. I'm always gonna love you. But because I'm trying to avoid things from happening, hey, we've got to edit. And I need to be able to have, as a real friend, real conversations with you on why I have to leave you out of the reindeer games, bro. Like, can't bring you along because you just doing this. Now, when you want, like you said, once you decide to change your behavior, then we can move forward. But until then, nah. You know what I mean? And to me, I feel like that's what good friendship should be about. And I have to recognize within myself that sometimes I'm more comfortable with him because I don't have to be the best version of myself. Because Jay Hill gonna want me to be a certain way when I come around him because he's success driven. So sometimes I might lean lower towards this side because I don't want that. And that's why I have to check myself. sometimes, yo, I love you, but I had to start distancing myself because now I'm not moving up. I'm not taking, I'm not putting more attention on myself or being the best version of myself. No, those are the things that we don't even talk about.
I think, bro, that's real. And I think that's the only way we can really heal. I don't think, it's funny. I might be this might be premature, but this is my thought. I don't know if it's really such thing is 100% being healed. Because they say like being healed is not a destination, is an ongoing journey, right?
Right.
But with that being said, you really don't know how you would react in the situation until you're put in that situation.
Right.
The best thing we can do is do our best not to be put in that situation. For example, if drinking makes me act this way, maybe I should cut down on my drinks. But does that mean if I don't cut down my drinks that I can get to a place where I stop doing that at that drink or at that drunkenness? I don't know.
Or does that mean I replace the drinking with eating?
Right.
Or I replace the drinking with smoking, or replace the drinking with whatever.
Right. So like even like let's say relationships, like we act out when we're put at certain adversities, right? So if I take myself out of the relationship, it really doesn't change me, right? It just takes me away from that trigger. So what happens if I'm putting back in another situation where I'm triggered again? So I think what I'm saying is I think we need to do a better job at recognizing what gets us there and do our best to avoid those things. And just because it's avoiding, and again, it's premature, you can't avoid everything, but avoiding doesn't mean bad all the time. Because I think we always associate avoiding something with negative thoughts. And I don't think that's true, because if I see someone who acts like this, I know how I'll get when someone acts like that. No matter how much I work on myself, I'm doing myself a disservice if I continue to put myself around a person or a situation that's no good for me, right? And I think that's why I say I think I might be premature talking when I say I don't really think you can ever get to that point of healing. You just got to be able to get to a point where you can recognize something before it get there, and that might be healing.
You're never gonna be. I agree with you. You're never gonna be fully healed. However, there comes a time when you build up enough calluses to where the cut don't hurt or the cut doesn't penetrate. You know what I mean? Noticing how calluses get thicker. It becomes thicker so that because it's less likely for that cut to happen again. So what happens, I tell people, you avoid dating until you're 30 years old. Why is that a bad idea? Why? Because the first time you get into a real relationship, you start falling apart. You look like a dut-da-dut. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to jump off the bridge and your man's like, what's wrong with you? She broke up with me. I loved it in her. They'd be like, bro, you ain't never had your heart broken. Certain things you got to learn early. It's the same thing when you talk to millionaires and you start talking about, man, I lost my building and this happened. He go, all right, and so what you gonna do next? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to learn how to take the blows early. You take the blows early because you got to build up those calluses. You got to learn how to deal with heartbreak. You got to learn how to deal with loss. You have to learn how to deal with rejection. You have to learn how to deal with failure. You got to learn how to deal with, bro, that's crazy, because that was my main concern looking at my nephew, is that he's so bright and he's so wonderful. He's so gifted and he's so innocent. And I'm like, bro, you about to get your ass kicked because you ain't had to deal with breakup. You ain't had to deal with loss. You got mom and dad there. You got your car. You ain't had to go buy on your own. You didn't have to go scrimp and save. And so you got that safety net is a beautiful thing, but it's also a crutch.
Yeah.
That if you haven't built up the calluses, what happened if the grades don't come and he drop out? And what happened and God forbid, if mommy and daddy not there no more, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? You got to learn how to fight.
But and that's but that's the best thing about time that we take for granted. Like wisdom, not just like knowledge, but wisdom. Wisdom is what you obtain over a certain amount of time. And I think with things like that, that's the best part about wisdom, bro, because you can never, like, there's no better teacher than experience. Right. And I think like when you go through a certain amount of heartbreaks, when you go through a certain amount of like letdowns and disappointments, you learn how to not only control the environment, because you really can't control the environment, but control yourself and how you react to it. So like even for me, like in this past like hard times, it's so easy to get in a down sprout and allow my mind to think negative. But that's why I say like I'm loving the space I'm in, because when my mind goes there, I don't know what it is, or when my body goes there, my mind don't allow it to entertain that. Because it'd be a lot of times where you want to be like, man, this, and that. And then I don't know if it's the body, I don't know what it is, but I'm able to regain my strength back and say, nah, this ain't that. Relax, go on a run, clear your mind. Whereas though before, I would allow those thoughts to take over my entire body, and that would make it worse. That's why when they say it rains, it pours, it's like, yo, again, I think we talked about it before. Let's think about it. You driving down, I don't know, perfect example. You wasn't prepared to go to the meeting that you had to be at 3 o'clock. You allowed yourself to get behind. So now you're rushing. Now you're rushing. You leave your wallet at home because you wasn't paying attention. Now you're speeding because you're rushing. You get pulled over. You don't got your wallet. Now the cop. Now you're upset. All these things is a trigger effect. It triggers down because it's a domino effect because you wasn't prepared, and then you allow your mind to be frustrated. Instead, like I said, I come in here, my light broke. I can't focus on my light. I have an interview. It would behoove me to focus on my interview and fix the light later, because now if my light broke and I'm worrying about my light, now I got a messed up light and the interview was terrible. When I could have just focused, recentered myself, and I could at least did the best with what I had. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we get in these positions, and that's just life. We get in these positions and we allow one moment to dictate the next moment, And it's like, that's the worst thing we can do.
And it's almost the same thing in business too. So like when you're a business owner or you're hustling or you're an entrepreneur, is that you could be going through a down moment because the phone ain't ringing and the money not flowing as much. And what we do is we either stress ourselves out completely, or we become completely disconnected. Where the best business people, their mind expands in times of adversity.
Yeah.
So you have to expand your definition of everything. So if this is how I normally make money, A, B, C. All right, well, that's not working. So the last thing to do is to leave the problem and think that it's going to solve itself, or to frustrate yourself and keep trying to make, A, B, C be A, B, C. All right, that didn't work. A, B, C didn't work. So let's expand. So what about E, F, G, H, I? Bro, there's a million different ways to make money, especially within in our worlds. You know what I mean? The problem is that we have to allow the universe to bring us solutions. Allow, meaning that somebody could bring you a different idea you didn't think about, but you keep saying, well, that's not necessarily, all right, we make fried chicken for a living. Now somebody telling you of a new way to fry some chicken. Man, that's not the way. Yeah, but if mad people on the side love that way, do you want to fry chicken? Or you want to sit here and whine, you know what I mean? And then that's where a lot of people get caught, is because I want to make money the way I want to make money. No, you want to have a successful business. So you have to let go of what your theory of success is and let the universe bring you what the universe meant for you to have success with.
Let's get back to it.
Go ahead.
Are there some apologies? Is some mistakes too costly to make? I mean, we know that's a saying, that's a real saying, but far as the Soulja Boy apologizing for saying things about Metro's deceased mother, like, do we forgive every single apology? How do we deal with apologies?
So, like, the thing I loved about Soulja Boy, I'm about to call him Soulja Slim. The thing I loved about Soulja Boy actively said, I made a mistake. It's time for me to get therapy. I'm recognizing that I need to pull back and I need to deal with my own issues. Because me jumping out the window the way I just recently did helped me understand that, oh man, I'm effing up big time. So once again, I'm gonna answer that question you asked before. Is every mistake worth? Was you saying like some mistakes is too much?
Some mistakes are too costly to make, but which mistakes are like no coming back from, I guess? Or are there? Is it ever an apology that you can't come back from?
Man, that's all a matter of perspective. That's a matter of perspective, because you might be ending up doing life in prison, but who's to say that you don't find everything you needed for your existence while behind bars in prison? Who's to say that whatever karmic thing that you needed so that you can evolve was necessary behind them bars, because maybe you moving so reckless out here and you so didn't care that it took for these full concrete walls to be around you for you to stop and recognize your humanity or whatever. So like, that's a matter of perspective. But I would tell you that everything that you go through is a necessity for the next version of yourself. Now, like you said before, how much I'm learning during the journey is gonna help me determine how bad the impact is gonna be. I got upset because something happened. So if I learn how to slow down, I don't leave the wallet. So now I don't get pulled over. Or I get pulled over, but I got the license and it doesn't. And it's just a $40 ticket versus the $220. You know what I mean? Which is a part of growth. Is that a part of building up the scars is learning how to mitigate problems and knowing that I'm the number one cause of most of the problems. So like if we switch from Soulja Boy and then we shift over to King Combs, these are prime examples of King Combs is exacerbating a problem. I'm frustrated because I don't like people make fun of my dad, or I don't like people making fun of something that I'm connected to and it makes me look bad. So now instead of me going to therapy or even going to my dad and being frustrated with my dad, I'm going to go to the world and say, yo, you keep saying no Diddy, you're going to see it. And then so you're going to gun at 50 Cent. Not a good idea. And you're going to gun at the world or the internet, which you know what is going to happen. They're going to no Diddy you to death.
Yeah, it's going to make it worse.
It's going to make it worse.
I think I seen, first of all, that just doesn't even make sense. What's her name? Raven Simone? That's her real name, right? I think her wife must have did something and people were like coming at her wife, might have been sending her death threats.
Right.
So I see her Raven Simone go live with her wife saying, y'all not about to keep sending her. Stop that. I'm like, bro, you're just bringing more attention to it, because I didn't even know this existed. Now I see it. And now it's like, I know people going to just do it just for the hell of it. Now they're going to do it just because you said not to. It's like you bringing more attention to it. And
the question comes, like, to me, the question I ask myself when I see these celebrities go through those moments is, who are you doing this for? You're definitely not doing it for the internet, because you know what's gonna happen. You're doing this for yourself. Are you trying to prove something? Who are you proving this to? Who are you lashing out to? There's nobody to lash out to. And there's none of these people are important. If there's somebody close enough to you that you have their phone number, then reach out to them. Don't reach out to the internet. Right. Whether it be Raven Simone, but going back to the point I'm making is that they are still low on their evolutionary scale to where they haven't understand that whatever they're feeling, this has nothing to do with the internet. This has everything to do with either the person that's affecting you or yourself.
Facts.
So now I'm causing more problems. It's going to compound. So you just said something about the house next door got evidence and y'all didn't go over there. We own that too.
Yeah, that was
insane.
That wasn't smart.
That was insane. Even if you joking, that's insane.
That's not smart.
You know what I mean?
I want to take a break. I want to get some water. But
for sure,
you could talk to the people. I don't know. Might just grab some water real quick. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
We got to talk about Akademiks.
Let's do it.
To get sued. Well, is this real?
All right. So there are rape and physical abuse allegations that have come out. Academic. Well, if y'all saw. Now, this is not the same person. Go ahead. And you can grab me that juice when you come back. There are some... Thank you, brother. Thank you. Boy. Yeah, you can have one of those. Akademiks in a situation in the past, and I think was it like a year or two ago, where he was out at the mall or something like that, got into a physical altercation with a girl. So he's already shown himself to have a history of being verbally and physically abusive. This is not the same person. There are allegations out now of him raping a woman and being physically abusive. At least at this point, I haven't seen him go crazy in a live. So thank God that he's listening in that respect. However, the thing I'm upset with is we have to start moving. I know when we get popping out here and the money start coming and these beautiful women start coming around, that we will entertain individuals that are not how do I say this? Because I don't want to be cold and mean, but like, I know for a fact there's certain young ladies that don't need to be around me regardless of the situation. From the first 2 sentences out of their mouth, whether they are intentional or non-intentionally trying to hurt, the fact that they're mentally not in the place where they should be around people that are really powerful, they just don't need to be around. Baby girl, just go hang out at the club. Yo, go hang out with the young basketball players that's not on an NBA. Like when you get to a certain level, you need to be around women of a certain caliber. And when you allow yourself to be with the chicks that's out here getting drunk all day long, they popping perks all, you always see them at some dude house, they floating around. That ain't the move, bruh. You have to be more discerning about the company you keep. I mean, like, that's bottom line. I hope y'all not misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm not even trying to dog them young ladies out. Whoever they are, they have a purpose for a certain group. When you young, you just living, you know what I mean? But at the same time, these women that put themselves in them situations normally come out of traumatic households. Yo, I've met a lot of young ladies that was homeless and they be floating around, and if the party at your house, they're gonna be at your house. If it's over at homie house, they're gonna leave, go to his house. They ain't looking for a job.
And I want to make this clear though. When we speaking on these situations, I think we speak from the male perspective because we are men.
Correct.
And our job or our goal is to not have other young men go through these same issues. So we ain't really get to the point of if Akademiks did it or not. So a lot of times people they hear what you're saying, but they don't hear the message, and they try to jump with it like, oh, so you're talking about straight to the ladies. It's like, no, but this is a real thing, especially when it comes to young men. I said it before, we got to do a better job at loving ourselves. What does loving yourself look like? Being discerning of who you put yourself around.
Thank you.
Point blank, period. Because there are people who can't wait to put you in a compromising position for the betterment of themselves. And if you give them the opportunity, they will take it.
Right. Let's flip it. There's dudes out here that live in their car with a bag and be scouting the chicks out everywhere. Oh yeah, you got your own spot. Yep. They're gonna put the game down. They're gonna give you the best 30 minutes of your life, your legs curling, and next thing you know, he like, yo, you mind if I stay over?
Yeah.
One night turned into 6 months. Like,
what I will say about Akademiks is I personally like Akademiks because of who he is to media. Okay, straight up. I think he's a inspiration to people who looks to do media, especially because at one point, and I'm just saying this loosely because I don't know this man like that, because at one point people looked at him as a nerd. I love that underdog story. And I vividly remember when there was a time where people was always clowning him. I mean, they still clown him, but he didn't never really get respect in media. Right. And I've seen the work that he's put in when it comes to media to put himself at the top of the totem pole. And I think when it comes to the work, he deserved that. So I always champion people who that, because I feel like I'm one of them guys. Right. And that's why I like Akademiks. It don't have nothing to do with who he is as a person. It's really about what he done in his media space. So with me liking Akademiks in that perspective, I do give him grace outside of media a lot. Well, inside of media, of how he deal with people a lot. And for example, how he talk to people. And I give him grace because I feel like kind of how I felt about Kanye West. It's like, bro, when people keep telling you no, you can't. And then when you on top and they need you, it's like, yeah, no, suck my dick. It's like, I kind of understand. So like, yeah, do we go overboard a lot with it, especially with the woman? Arguably so, for sure. Would I talk to women like that? Probably not, but I'm not Akademiks. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is I definitely like him as a media personality. And I understand a lot of his, like, when he be going on niggas, it's like, yeah, because bro, y'all wanted to shit on me when I wasn't Akademiks. Now y'all need me. Nah. Go to hell. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. As far as this this case thing, I mean, I hope he ain't out here doing no wild shit like that. Cause that makes no, like, bro, these allegations, bro, like Diddy, right? That's just not smart, bro. Like, so I'm not gonna say if he did it or not, but because we seen Diddy on camera. understanding that might have been the low part of your life. That's not smart. But young men, this is why it's super important to embrace your process, because you are learning lessons, whether it's domestic lessons or just from work lessons, right? You're learning lessons to be in a position where you don't have to make these, I don't want to say mistakes. You don't have to do these things. And then, like, think about it. Domestic abuse is not okay regardless, right?
Facts.
Domestic violence is not okay regardless, right?
Correct.
It's 10 times worse though when you're a celebrity. It is what it is.
Right.
So whom much is given, much is required. I think Bobby was just talking about this, right? So if Diddy did this as a regular nigga, the world wouldn't be in shambles, because there's millions of niggas doing weirdo shit like this every day. But
Right.
you're Diddy. You have the spotlight on you. You have millions of dollars. With who you are, the position that you hold, you especially shouldn't be doing nothing like this. Same with preachers, right? I think I was talking to Wayne, he was like, man, we hold preachers of higher value than regular people but at the end of the day, we shouldn't, because they regular people. No, that's not necessarily true, because they are in a different position, which holds a different standard of the people who aren't in that position.
Right. You are the leader of a group of people, and you know what I'm saying? And you have been ordained to be held to a higher standard.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean? Once you put yourself in that space, bro, you have to adhere to the rules that space comes with. Like, if anything, like when we talking to our young dudes out here, is that the camera's never off, even if you behind closed doors.
Never.
Like, you know what I mean? You need to choose the lifestyle and the person you want to be with. And you got to understand 3-dimensionally everything that comes along with it. You know what I mean? Like regardless of whether you want to be a public facing person or a private person, if you're dealing with women, you should always be very particular and specific about the type of women you let around you, because all it takes is for one wrong argument. All it takes is for somebody to push a button that they've never been pushed before, and it's the person that you love that's gonna push the most, that's gonna push the hardest. You know, the person that you've shown yourself to be vulnerable with, that's the person you cried with, that's the person that, you know what I mean, you literally stripped down naked in front of. So, like, yeah, like, we don't want to just willy-nilly allow anything around us. And I tell you, and I'm not saying this to be on some, yo, this is just a God thing. I tell all my nieces, I tell all my female cousins the same thing. Y'all need to be choosy about who you let around you. Yo, you should allow your cousins to come interview dudes. Hey, who you got? Who you dating? Who is this corny out? Let me meet him. Because if I feel like he one of them dudes that's not going to take you seriously, you know what I mean? And I'm the same way. Like, it's funny. Like, I was hanging out with Raven a week ago, and she asking me about, you know what I mean? We doing some business. We talking some business, but we get into some personal life. And she start asking me about who I'm dating, and I kind of throw a name out there. And the first thing she do, scratch her face. What? Nah, Jay. Da. And I'm like, I have to listen to that. She a woman. Like, she knew stuff about this young lady I didn't know nothing about. So I'm like, oh, all right. So I know how to move accordingly. And she like, why you don't tell me about stuff? And I be like, man, I don't need to be thinking, because you be so busy liking somebody. Oh, she fine. She said,
you don't want to know the flaws.
Like, say that again.
You don't want to know the flaws.
You don't want to know the flaws.
It's like the red pill, blue pill.
Yeah, because that booty y'all need like, and there ain't no belly in it. She like, But the reality is that the older you get, the more you have to care. You should start with the flaws first.
100%.
First question on the first day. All right, tell me the worst thing about you. Tell me the worst thing. Let me know. Yo, strip it all down for me at the beginning. Like, you know what I mean? Don't come. Matter of fact, I be telling them now, don't even come dressed up. Come to worst. Come with your night clothes on the first date. Let's see the regular us first.
Yeah, man, because I guess, like, you get tired of going through life figuring it out, and then once you figure it out, you find out that's not what you want. That gets exhausting. So it's like, bro, I'd rather us just kick the shit. Like, let's just figure out the worst part about us so we can know if we like it or not. Because if we go through this journey, sometimes you don't even know somebody to like 3-4 years. We go through this journey just learning each other, then we finally find out who we truly are in moments of adversity, right? In moments of weakness and darkness. And now it's like, damn, I don't even like this person. Or now I don't even align with that character trait. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, let's just show up naked. Like, not physically or literally, but
no,
figuratively.
we can do that too.
Like let's show up naked figuratively so we can know who we are without guards down. So we don't have to worry about finding out something later on down the line. But we can't do that a lot of times because people can't even own their own shit. Like they can't even look in the mirror and say who they really are.
Now, I ask you this question: could you go on your first date and show the worst version of yourself? Date one.
The worst version of myself.
Could you be open to say the worst? If the girl on the first day, oh, it's so nice to meet you. You got the nice waves in your hair. So what's the worst thing about you? And you gonna be saying like,
I could say,
yo, my feet stink. You know what I'm saying?
I can say it. It's just even then, I don't think, because even if I heard it, I don't think I look at it as a sign to say, is this what I want to deal with it? I feel like I might look at it as a sign to conquer.
For example, what does that mean?
Like a woman comes to me and say, yo, the worst thing about me is I get aggressive when I'm upset.
So now you want to be an animal trainer?
No,
so you want to try to figure out a way to calm it down?
Now I'm thinking like maybe that wasn't that was just a guy. I can't like it. You know what I'm saying? Again, I haven't dated in a minute. So I don't know.
Ego is involved in her. Like that's
I don't know.
Crazy.
I always had the Superman complex, so I don't know. I'm just saying. Bro, and I haven't dated in like years. I have
next
no
time
idea.
you go on a date and they ask you what's the worst thing about you, tell them I have a Superman complex.
So, yeah,
that's the worst thing about you.
So I think like even if I show up, I'm like, yo, the worst thing about me is I don't know. I can
hard-headed.
I mean, I wouldn't think
don't
that's the worst.
Listen to people.
You said what?
You don't listen to people?
I mean, I think I listen to people. But...
Okay, you listen and it washes over you. It doesn't penetrate you.
I don't have to, whatever. But yeah, I think the worst thing about me, if I'm thinking about it, like as far as dating, I would think like would it be? I think I'm kind of judgmental. I don't.
You think you're judgmental?
I think so, bro.
You think so?
It's something that I don't want to agree with. I've never seen myself as judgmental, but I can see none of them think about it because like I feel like I almost think people should be like me. Not from afar though. So I can see like if I feel like I'm very hardworking and I feel like what you're doing isn't hardworking, I can see me looking at you differently. And that's judgmental, right? I would assume.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but I think the difference is that you may not change how you treat the person. You might make the judgment and still treat that person the same. Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out because I'm trying to think of arguments. I'm just like
we can go back to every Gemini Scorpio podcast, and I'm sorry, all of your issues, y'all have stripped each other. Y'all have stripped each other down multiple, like almost every other episode. Like you know what I mean?
For sure.
But
I don't know. I think
definitely the Superman complex is a huge issue.
That's an issue.
That's definitely an issue, bro.
Wanting to save somebody.
The number one thing, the hardest thing I had to realize is that my dad told me a long time ago. He said, if you marry a damsel in distress, you'll always have a distressed damsel. Meaning that if you find somebody and you feel like I can save her, guess what you're gonna end up doing your whole life? You have to keep saving that person over and over and over and over again.
So why is that the worst part about me when it comes
because
to dating?
It becomes exhausting. Keep having to save somebody that should automatically know how to save themselves after the 15th or 20th time.
Why is that hard for the person that's being saved?
No. It's nothing wrong with the person being saved, but eventually the judgmental side that you already know that's inside of you is going to start judging the person that you have to keep saving them over and over and over again.
Okay.
That's why being Superman is horrific. Because there's a difference between the comic book version of Superman and the reality part of Superman.
And then on top of that, that's the worst part. You just help me figure out something, because you might deem yourself saving somebody where they don't even feel like they need to be saved, or they're okay with that.
No, they do need to be saved, and you keep saving them. But because you keep saving them, they don't think it's a problem.
But no,
because they start thinking it's your responsibility to do that.
But
for them.
That's true. But I'm saying sometimes we think we saving somebody when homeless people, for example. I've learned this through philanthropy. some people are okay with being homeless. So if you come to a homeless person, right? They didn't ask you to put them in a house to get them clothes, right?
Right.
You give them a house, you give them clothes, and then they back on the streets, and you looking like, bro, what the hell? Like now you're judging them. You're saying what they shouldn't do when they were okay with where they were. That's what I mean by that, and that's what makes it the worst part, because you are taking an initiative to do something somebody didn't ask you to do, and then when they don't reciprocate the love back how you deem it should be reciprocated, now you get upset. Hey, this is a good therapy session. That's the worst part about it.
But then also look, there's multiple things that's going to happen. Not only do they not appreciate that, not only do they resent you for doing what you're doing, some people feel like that's what you're supposed to do, and now they don't feel like they should have to fix it. You should just continue to fix it for me, because that's what you chose to do when you came.
I'm thinking about introspective. I ain't thinking about what they're doing. I'm thinking about me.
But even that, there's a judgment part of it. There's going to be a judgment part where you can be like, bro, you keep walking. Always keep taking this last step to fall off this cliff. Why do you ain't know that this is a cliff here? You done been to the same cliff 1,000 times.
And you know what that makes it bad in relationships, because now you start to be a different person than who you showed up as. Right. So like now,
so instead of being a savior, now you become the devil, because now you've changed your attitude, because before you were saving because out of love. Now you're upset and resentful, and now every time they about to do it, not only you gonna let them fall, but you're gonna talk shit about them the whole way down.
Or not even if you talk shit, it just looks differently, because now think about it like this: we do grow at different aspects of our life, right?
At different intervals.
If I'm used to you, let's say, starting something and never finishing it. Eventually down the line, I might stop supporting you. But what happens when something really clicks and I stop supporting you at the moment you needed the support to continue?
The most.
And it's like, that's why like these nuances of life is so intriguing to me. And like, it's dope that like my major was sociology. It was dope for the introspective part about it, but nothing else. Like, because you don't make no fucking money, but excuse my language. But yeah, that's the only part. But that, like the fact that like, I can look at it through the lens of like just being humans. I think that's super dope, because neither side is wrong, right? If anything, you are wrong with yourself for putting up with something, not nothing else, not the other party. The other party can't blame you. You can't. It's like you're dealing with something that you know you don't want to deal with. Somebody starting and not finishing, right? So when you stop supporting them, they very much so can grow to a point where they've learned their lessons. And they're going to start something and they're going to continue. But what happened is now you become the driving force or the motivation to their success. And I understand that from like just the entrepreneur business part of it. And I never want to be someone's driving force or motivation to their success in a negative way, because we have that. Think about all the people that did you wrong, all of the people that said no, the people you wasn't going to do anything. In relationships, sometimes your loved one become that person because they're tired or you're tired. And that hurts. I think that probably hurts the most, because it's like, I've always had your back, but now it would take for us to go through this for you to be this person I saw that you could be the whole time, but you never showed me.
But that's the reason why relationships are so important, is because relationships challenge you to grow in a way that you would not do on an individual level. You know what I mean? That the love for the person or the love for seeing the relationship grow pushes you beyond something. There's nothing like being in love with somebody and wanting to do something great for them. Yeah. And then you have to push past your own insecurities to get to that.
What I'm saying is the hurt, sometimes it ends before you get there. And the hurt pushes you to get to that level, because now, again, you want something and then you start pointing the fingers, right? And now it's like, you said I wasn't never going to be shit, so let me go be shit. Right? It's like, you said that I never finished something what I started, so I'm going to show you I'm going to finish this.
Right.
And it's like,
but that's a bad reason to do something.
But no,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Because it's been times coming from our situation, maybe not you, maybe not me, where teacher said you ain't never going to be shit.
Right.
So that was the driving force to us being something. It was times where company said, man, you need me. That was the driving force to me showing that I don't need you, right? Same with relationships. Like, it starts so innocent. It starts so positive, and then eventually, because if you're not, I don't want to say equally yoked, but if you're not on the same page, eventually it gets torn and torn and torn to the pack that is like, man, I can't stand you, and I'm gonna show you exactly why I am who you say I'm not, or exactly why I'm not who you say I am.
But the problem is that sometimes we get addicted to the contention just so that we can continue to grow. So say, for instance, you get to the next situation, or I get to the next situation, and I've used all of this anger and vitriol to get myself to this place, but then I end up finding somebody that's truly soft and supportive and loving. So now I don't have the arguing to build off of. I don't have the tension to build off of. How do I now grow? Because now I don't want to ruin what I have, because this person is genuinely everything I need them to be. So that's why I say you don't want to get addicted. It's almost like getting addicted to something because, all right, I smoke weed. That's why it makes me the most creative. Yeah, but now it's a crutch. Now the anger and the resentment is a crutch. You know what I mean? And that's why the best relationships, and this is something that was hard for me to learn, is that you can't come in and be a therapist for your significant other. You can't be that therapist. You can't be that problem solver. You can be a support system. You know what I mean? And that's hard for me, because if you come and tell, even if you would have called me on the phone, I can't help it. You'll be like, Jay, this, and that. And I go right into therapy. Yo, so this is what I'm thinking. It's hard to do.
Let's not speak past something you just said.
Go ahead.
Sometimes that driving force can become a crutch.
Correct.
And that's where we see people go wrong. Think about it like this, bro. A lot of our great people, like a lot of geniuses suffer from that. Einstein. Think about it, like Kanye West, right? Now I think about it, the same reason they hate you, the same reason they love you, be the same reason they hate you. Kanye West's driving force was people said he couldn't, but it drove him to the point where, as though when he showed he could, he then, for some odd reason, he still had the same mindset, and he did things for people to say he can't. If this makes follow me, right? So think about it.
He needed to find opposition so he could find drive.
Exactly.
Because at that point he had attained everything. Yes, he was fully loved and nobody doubted him.
And that
no
was
more.
The same thing that drove him back down the hole. I'm gonna support Trump. Like now I'm doing things for people to opposize for me to show you that I can do. And that's what drives you in the hole. And it's crazy because I think, damn, it'd be like the same driving force can be your same rise to action can be your same fall, right? And it's like, damn, it's because it's easy to speak on it, but I can't be so sure that wouldn't be me, because those moments, that drive is what helps you. Think about even in breakups, bro. A lot of times men, they get out of breakup and they go crazy. They living their best life. They're working hard. They're getting their body in shape. They're like what they call it nowadays.
I'm trying to prove to the person that left me that you were wrong for ever doubting me. You left me, so now I'm becoming this,
and you
so
become
that you
this
be jealous.
Guy.
Yeah, because you want to make her jealous. You want her to come back.
But what happens when you don't have that drive? Now you have to find something to drive you, when I don't know if that's necessarily healthy.
Right, and that's why I spoke to somebody about a breakup where I was like, be the first person to be forgiving, to take away the instruments of war and leave out of love, so that you don't create an environment of war, just so that you could drive your own success, so y'all could drive the separation, so y'all could drive yourselves away from figuring out what really went wrong over time. Like if you're gonna separate, you separate with love and understanding and forgiveness, and
that's humility. Easier said than done, though.
It's super hard to do.
That hurt. But that pain is painful.
But it lets you know what. See, I feel like that's what's so important, because I need you to always be thinking about, and this is everybody, we be thinking about what I need to be working on. And if I'm not here, why? Ask yourself, why am I not here? Why am I not? Why is it, if I know that I need to be forgiven, so that I need to forgive because I need it, why am I I tell you this, I held on to certain angers from certain people for so long because I really felt like it made me more powerful to hate that person. It gave me a certain justification for not being a better person. You know, I wanted to stay in that anger. I wanted to hate that person for life. I couldn't wait to spit on their grave and all this other crazy stuff I used to say. But the older I got, the more I recognized that it made me a weak person. And it took my attention away from what was really important. You know what I mean? And I was like, bro, you need to be working on yourself. So you keep embracing this anger, but is this helping you become a healthier person? Are you building better connections because of this? Or are you now disconnecting yourself? Because now you get to going, well, if you sign with them, then you against me. And all right, cool. Now I got more people to hate. So now you just coming up with the hate list. All right, y'all choosing sides. And now it's like, you going to your homeboys. You on my side?
And then you start to believe that, and that starts to become who you are. Exactly. It's kind of like it's remind me of the Joker from Batman 2. Remember, like, he played the character so well that he almost forgot that he wasn't that person, and it eventually drive him to his own death.
Correct.
And it's like, that's scary.
Yeah.
Like,
because it makes you feel powerful. Think about it. When all your homeboys go, I don't care what you do, you my dog. And I don't care. I'm always going to be on your side. That makes you feel empowered. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you was the one on the right when things went wrong. Then you feel even more emboldened. I did everything, bro. You going and you right.
You know what I've learned, man? Like sometimes God puts you in people's life to be that right for. Well, again, these things are easy said and done, but like, you got to be okay with your purpose. It's like sometimes God might bring you in somebody's life to help them get a head start. And that was your whole purpose. But for you, it's like,
But also that God put that person in your life so you can realize that your power doesn't derive out of that.
Facts.
Your power derives out of you being able to just let it go.
Yeah.
And let it know that, I mean, you are a powerful person, but that's not the purpose of your power. So like, yeah, I could do this with, say my ex, my big thing I used to stand on was like, she was this when I met her. Now she here. And all of my exes, they ain't all level. I leveled them all up. They better, they can't mess with a dude below me. And it's funny when they try to and it fails. But what kind of dickhead am I? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, God gave me that gift so that I could bless the world, period. So like for me to sit there and try to like have an ego off of that is ridiculous.
Well, guess what?
What? You can't help it.
Not even that. No, not even that. Not even that though. Even if we take God out of this mess me up.
Go ahead. Turn the internet on fire.
No, it's not nothing crazy.
Get us in trouble.
That's what you're supposed to do as a man.
Facts.
So it's like you know how is the saying of like you're not supposed to be rewarded for what you're supposed to do, right? For doing the right thing. It's like, yeah, we want to talk about how we leveled up all our chicks, and I mean, what type of nigga you is if you don't?
I know a lot of niggas that ain't like that, but we ain't gotta get into that.
But it's like
that's true.
That's really what you're supposed to. So it's
right.
Like you break up with a chick, and like, man, I did all this. I'm like, okay, cool. You want a brownie point? Like, but that and like because you kind of do. We hear me like, yeah, nigga, I want a cookie for that. Like, I want.
But then you leveled up her life, but then you destroyed it because through whatever the breakup is, whether you were on the right side or the wrong side, the anger, resentment, the vitriol, all of that, you destroying all of that.
No.
And then you're sending shockwaves because now think about it. That anger is going to take place in the first date of the next date and the date of the next one. Because as soon as that person say or do something to trigger you, and now you back into that moment. And that's why forgiveness becomes so important. I have to leave with love so that I can live in a space of balance in the next space.
Live in a space of peace.
And I can live in a space of peace so that everything that is also growing in my garden, whether it's nieces, whether it's nephews, whether it's aunts or hey, let me tell you something, brother. Your aunts and your uncles and your parents are learning from you too. I hope y'all listening. Like my family members talk about how I see how you drinking unsweet tea, and I see you on this health thing. You doing this?
Yeah.
Like I gotta start doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not that they see it one time; they see it consistently, and they go, or the fact that I don't get it drawn into arguments and I'm being forgiven. Oh, I'm affecting people. So either I can continue to water my garden properly, or I can let this bad moment now toxic, you know what I mean? Intoxicate an entire garden. Do you really want to be a great man, or do you just want to be angry? Because you can be angry. Hey, bro, I'm cool. Hey, let me tell you something, baby. Ain't nothing worse than giving in to anger. It is so satisfying. It is, bro. Throw something, break something, blame the world. Yo, it's great. Go get drunk, smoke some shit. Let me tell you.
Not satisfying in the moment.
Of course.
It's like,
of course.
It's like, bro, you know what that is? It's like being on a diet. You have a cheat meal. It's good in the moment, but after you're done,
you're like, ugh.
It's like post-nut clarity almost. It's like, damn, that wasn't even worth it. Think about it. You on a diet, your body looking good, you doing so well, you feel good, your mind is in a better space. You have a little cheat meal.
Yeah, that greasy cheeseburger.
And it's like, bro, you probably don't even finish it. And he was like, bro, it's not even worth it. Like, I could have.
You on the toilet at 2 a.m, machine gun funk. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Post-nut clarity is worse, especially if she's super ugly. And she was fine in the club and you got into the crib. And it's like, oh my God.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Post-nut clarity is crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. Why?
Like, nigga, feelings, you be really in, like, your penis really had you in some real feelings, like,
and you be saying some wild shit,
and you really being like, you being lust and
game,
you being like with a chick because of your penis, you had sex with her. And I think, bro, as men, bro, we gotta do a better. Yo, I know people hate me. I keep talking about men, but like, we just gotta do a better job at that, bro, because these women are getting crazier by the day. I'm gonna just say it is what it is, because. And not even crazier, bro. It's just real. Like, I don't know. We just getting more mature. We getting grown. You just gotta be careful how you treat people.
Facts.
Just, period. Crazy or not.
Correct.
It's like, bro, because there's gonna be somebody out there. You play with their feelings, and they ain't playing back.
Yo, think about it. The more enemies you create, the more enemies you gotta fight down the road. The more friendships and more connections you make, the more. Once again, you can choose. You can choose how you want your battlefield to stack up. Do you want to have more people on your side? Or do you want to have more people against you? So you can have potent clarity 7 days a week, and every chick now you got to fight through that every time. You know what I'm saying? So like it all comes back. It all comes back to what you decide to do, how you decide to perceive the world, how you decide to approach the world and be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? What time is it? Is we late? Where's we at? What time we at?
Yeah, like 1:36. We could. I mean,
I got time. We ain't got to be out of here, or I ain't got to be out of here until like 3:30. So
we can finish. I mean, well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
if y'all in the comments, before we even go anywhere, Patreon.com, J Hill Podcast. Sign up. It's $3 today. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that supports the movement. Yo, we can throw a super chat in there. If you got a crazy question, throw it in a super chat. We will talk about it right here. If you have questions, comments, stuff you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? If somebody drops $50 right now, $50? I will dance. You know what I'm saying? I will bust down.
You want to dance for $50?
I want 25 of that. I'm just letting you know that right now. I want you to send me about 25. You know what I'm saying?
You think dance for $50?
I ain't say I was going to have sex on the floor like on camera. I used to have a prostitute. I was going to kick him a little jig.
Oh man,
you for real, like, you know what I'm saying? But summertime's coming. What's the plan, bro? What we doing for the summer, man?
I'm trying.
We got to do some like J Hill Podcast special thing, something, yo. Come on, yo. Let's talk about it, yo. I'm
about to bring a show to the network.
Okay.
Yeah,
how many days a week? Just 1, 2 days a week?
Yeah, probably once a week.
That's like cool.
Producer show.
Okay. What's the show gonna be about?
Just like
they can't do what we doing though.
No, it's gonna be podcast producers talking about production of podcasts. So it's gonna be people who do podcasts. It's gonna be a podcast about doing podcasts.
Got you. We need to have another panel. You know what I'm saying? We need to get like some.
What you mean?
I don't know, just niggas talking about something crazy. Yo, when we gonna start talking about relationships on the J Hill Network, bro?
When
are we gonna start talking about that?
I mean, we can get a show that talk about relationships.
That's what I'm saying. About that shit. Why not? Yo, please, let's talk about that. Why we can't talk about relationships? Why you don't want to talk about relationships?
It gets redundant, bro. And it's like, there's no real substance in the conversations. One, there's a bunch of people pointing a finger at each other. Like it gets to no resolution. And I'm just not a fool. Like, I'm not trying to be sitting here talk about the same shit over and over again to a brick wall. It's like, yeah, because you know who the problem is? Women need to I don't know. Like, that shit.
I think we should just come up with the J Hill Bible. So that way you don't have to repeat the same topic. So we can, like, if somebody bring up a topic, you're like, yo, this according to the J Hill Network, chapter 3, verse 10 says
Y'all can talk about it. We can put it on there. We get some toxic people in here just talk about relationships. Like my man Ugly Money Niche. He going crazy over there.
That's a fact.
Yeah, like,
wait, man, did you interview him before?
We supposed to do something together, but I feel like we just
you bugging.
Nah, we both was.
What is he gonna bring his trigger button over here?
Why
you gotta
bugging?
let him. Why you gotta let him bring his trigger button?
Wait, why am I bugging?
I'm just saying, because normally
why he not bugging?
You'd have it. Yeah, he probably could be bugging. You know what I'm saying?
About, man? We on the same level.
Yo, that was his ego that just jumped out his chest. I just want y'all to see that. His ego jumped. What the fuck you mean? Like, I'm bugging. Like, I'm always ready.
We both, no, not even that. Like, we both dropped the ball on each other. Like, nah, man. But
the list for this year. So the list for all right, the top 5 interviews you want to do this year that all right, we probably gonna make it happen. I think Ugly Money Niche would be a good one for you.
That's not my top 5. Why you?
He's not even gonna be in the top 5. All right, top 30.
Why you? What's up with you, bro? Like, let me look at this nigga Instagram. Like, what? Let me see. Cause god damn, what's going on? This must be one of your favorite podcasts or something.
I ain't gonna lie, I do fuck with Ugly Money Niche.
I fuck with him too, but god damn, putting in my top 5 is crazy.
Top 5.
That's right. Wow.
But you done interviewed so many people. It's not too many podcasts left. Like, who else is there? Like 85 South.
I'm my top 5.
Joe would be number
Joe not
1.
even on my top 5 no more.
The what?
I don't know.
Why, you think he too crazy?
Nah, I don't know. I feel like that's the closer you get to something, it's like the more you fall back, kind of for some reason. But no, because that's not true. Like, cause my top 5 is Meek Mill.
Okay.
Probably Wallow.
Okay, I can see that. That would be a good conversation.
Joe, I would love to talk to Joe.
Meek would be definitely fire. Joe would be fire, in my opinion.
Let me reach out to Ian.
Wallow, yeah, why not?
I don't know why I ain't never just asked. I don't know.
No, that's weird. He might even just bring you up there, because like the last time they had them boys come up there.
So Wallow, Joe, Meek Mill. I don't think I have a 5.
Yeah, I don't really see you.
I would love to talk to E.T.
E.T.
the hip hop preacher E.T.
Oh, all right. You gotta connect to him.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I don't think I got a top 5 interviews right now.
Damn. Yeah, the feel ain't that complicated no more.
Maybe Charlamagne, maybe. Akademiks. I think it'll probably be Joe Budden.
I would want you to do Akademiks before you do Charlamagne. Only because I feel like you and Charlamagne's conversation would be so all over the place. Because I could see y'all swerving from mental health stuff to podcast stuff, and it wouldn't. I mean, unless you really came in like holding his feet to the fire to focus on a certain thing, which I don't think he would do. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's talked so much.
Yeah,
it's kind of purposeless.
Yeah,
but Akademiks ain't had a good like interview in a minute. Yeah, and your perspective and his perspective will be interesting.
Definitely, I probably will go Meek Mill, Wallow, Akademiks, Joe Budden, and I probably still just throw Charlamagne in there.
That's a nice top 5.
Yeah, I think
that's a nice top 5, and that's a doable for 2024. So I feel like you can knock them out this year.
This year, I probably could. I don't know.
I think you got the you got the little travel thing where you can fly anywhere in the country. You know what I'm saying? Anytime.
Nah, facts.
You spit that shit.
Yeah, no,
oh my god.
I would I do want to do the Meek Mill interview though.
No, can we do the podcast in like Puerto Rico or something?
That would be hard.
That's what I'm dead serious though. Yeah. I ain't bullshitting.
I ain't bringing these cameras, but
Nah. We don't have to bring them. We can bring the secondaries.
Yeah, we can.
And then we can do some lapel mics.
Go to like Mexico.
I'm with it.
Where it's hot, it feel good.
I want like we gotta have like, you know what I mean, the jungle in the background.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And then like you got a drink, I got a drink. Cigars. You gotta have smoke. You gotta have a cigar with me. And some nice mojitos. And we can get like 2 girls to serve us drinks. I'm with it, bro. I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down.
Man. What's up with the chat, man? How y'all doing, man? What's going on? We see how we came in studio with y'all niggas, man.
Yo,
my first time ever doing this.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you did that before.
What, the live like this?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't never do it.
When I moved down, I just had to be the engineer for the lives.
I can do this though now that I think about it, but it probably
you had to call your mans in.
No, I got my people that because I'm thinking when they edit, it could be live stream too.
Yeah.
But my only thing is I probably want to do that on Patreon or something.
Yeah.
You could do that solely just for Patreon?
Yeah.
So you could stream on Patreon?
Yes. There's a way to do it.
Like it gotta be unlisted on YouTube.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And they have another version that you could pay for where it could just be live streaming on Patreon.
Patreon?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yo, would you guys pay $3 to see the live interviews before they come out? Would y'all? If you in the chat, let me know if y'all can hear us, man. I think we on Instagram too, but I can't see it. Can you see?
I'm gonna drop my damn phone on the floor. Hey.
I don't think I can see the Instagram. It ain't showing up. Let us know if you will watch the Patreon.
I'm surprised you ain't put it on Facebook today.
Oh, I didn't, bro. I didn't
think about it until literally just now.
I would have did it. I'm so proud of this Dr. Black Wealth interview. It did over 1,000 views, right?
Right.
And that was like an entrepreneur spotlight. So it wasn't like somebody that like popular people know. The conversation was just really good.
Did you see this when you was talking about?
Yeah, that's apology.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see this earlier.
So if y'all get a chance, go watch my Dr. Black Wealth interview. It's really good, man. It's just good conversations.
Oh, look at me, yo. I'm like a fat Dominican in here, yo. Shout out to everybody in this
like your haircut, man.
Arriba!
Yeah, I can't see this the live for some reason. Can they
probably
hear
because
us?
you coming from your page. Maybe you need to go in from the network page.
I did. That's why Ooh, it sound good. Oh, this is fire.
Yeah,
what's good, Instagram? How y'all feeling? How y'all like the setup, man? Y'all like the live? Y'all like it?
It's nice in here. I just want y'all to know that. Strippers are coming at 3.
Ain't no strippers coming, man.
No strippers. All right, no strippers. I was trying to finesse a couple of moves, but don't happen.
This guy's insane, man.
But yo, you got a wonderful summer ahead of you, man. Like it's gonna turn up. The music industry about to open back up. Future and Metro Boomin been out here moving around. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a lot of opportunity to have some fun, make some stuff happen. And it looks like I might be moving to Atlanta sooner than later. So like, I know J-Ho like, yeah, I've heard this for the last year and a half, but hey, man, like a couple of things have been happening. The only thing I'm looking at now is like, shit, I'm just looking for a little gig. Once I find me a little something to get some ching, I'm gonna be comfortable. That's all I need. If I can get about $3-4 grand a month, I'm good. So look, if y'all in the A right now, and you want your boy to come through, flip some pancakes or build you a house, or I don't know, if you old and you need somebody to pipe you down, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Add JS on a supplier. You know, have open slots available. You know what I mean? If you're in the A, let's get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if y'all need some production coordination, production assistance, if you need some light editing work done, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? You need some audio engineering, let's go. Management. Y'all better have some bread out here. Let's go. Let's get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? And Jay got a bunch of stuff going on. If you need a film shot.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to bro, I've been talking to a few people, bro, and like they motivate me. So all if you're like an entrepreneur / not entrepreneur, if you're a creative in the chat right now, this is important. I've been talking to a couple people and like it really opened my mind up.
Okay.
A lot of times we chasing these goals and these dreams and we trying to like be a version of ourselves that we aren't right now. And that looks different. So what I mean by that is it was a song on Partisan Fontaine's album that was really good. Like, I'm Not There Yet. And he speaks about how he couldn't really work a local job because he was too famous in the city. And I was feeling like that. But I was talking to a couple people, Cleon being one of them. And no, bro, you can do both, bro. You can get your money if you working at McDonald's, whatever. Yeah, it might be embarrassing, but it shouldn't be because you getting a check. And you still are who you are in the absence of that job.
That's a fact.
And that's just something that I deal with. I'm not gonna say I'm past it, but I'm saying that those conversations is helping me work past it. Like even with my production stuff, I don't like promoting it. Like I'll do it, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't really promoting it because like I want people to see me as a podcast. I still believe that. Like I still believe that first introductions means a lot. So I really try to be introduced as a podcaster because people treat you differently depending on how they meet you. It is what it is.
Agreed.
So I still believe that, but I'm weighing towards the middle of like, nah, bro, you still need to have a job if this ain't paying your bills, and that's okay. If a nigga don't understand that, then
you're just a hater.
Yeah, you're not about to just be broke because you're chasing a dream. Like that's it is what it is. So like, yeah, man, if you're a creator, and hopefully this helps you because I know those conversations help with me. Like I was talking to Cleon, he's like, yeah, nigga, I'm a barber. I'm like, bro, what? Like at a shop, like not even like personal, like at a shop, like it's a job. You're like, yeah, nigga, let me get my money. Like, and I'm like, okay, I might have to start doing Uber. He's like, nigga, yeah, like,
nigga, do what you gotta do.
I'm still like, nah, but nah, it's growing on me. It's growing on
I'm
me.
wondering. See now this is the dickhead in me. Who's more famous, Jay Hill or Cleon? I venture to say you're probably way more famous than Cleon. And no disrespect, Cleon. Do not come for me.
You think
I'm just saying?
Nah, Cleon. So anytime you ask me who's more famous, me or anybody else, is always going to be the other person. Now, however, we can have the argument of my platform. That's different.
Okay, I'll give you that.
We can have the argument of my platform versus anybody else.
I was saying though, your face probably is more visible in the industry because of the fact that
in the industry, yeah, for sure.
You got so many more clips of you having conversations with people, and you know what I'm saying. Like you've had, and now mind you, let's not even trip. Cleon got mad impact.
But let me tell you about this though. The difference is Cleon can pull out that phone, boom, here tomorrow, yesterday. And he can get the same amount of clicks depending on what he's talking about.
True.
My impact sometimes determined about the person I'm in front of.
Word.
And again, it has something to do with me about the questions I ask. But what I will say, and being just because I don't want nobody to think I'm downplaying myself, I have a great way of creating moments no matter who I'm in front of. I do have that. Like I have that, and I've shown it. My guy Bankshot, shout out him. We got a clip that did 3 mil. My guy Wayne, we just did a clip that did 2 mil. So back home before I got to Atlanta, we had a clip that did 1 mil, 1.5. You know what I'm saying? Even after that, well, y'all might not like this podcast with Donnie. We had a clip. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I have the ability to bring that out, but it's always determined on who's in front of me, right? Whereas though Cleon, he pull out that phone, he by himself and
it's up.
You get what I'm saying? So
that
like, I'm a realist. Like, I don't want niggas to think, because I don't want the people to think like I'm always downplaying myself. No, I just be real.
And I don't want people to feel like I'm downplaying Cleon. Cleon a fucking legend in our city, bro. Like, he one of them niggas. Like, for real, bro. I love Cleon. I've met him in passing a bunch of times, but I've never had a chance to actually have a conversation with him. But I always loved him. Even his hood films, I think, is just super fire. I think he's one of them people that really did it independently.
Yeah, no, Bluffing Ass Nigga was probably one of the most visible things. And we talking about a decade ago, probably more than a decade ago, 2 decades ago, that came out of the city and it was independent, right?
Right.
But you know, it's funny now that you said that. I find it weird that all people can't think how I just broke it down. Like, I don't need somebody to be like, I'm more famous than Cleon or Cleon more famous than me, because I understand the impact for both of us, right? But I wish everybody could look at it like that, because it'd be sometimes when I interview somebody, right, and they think it was because of them that something went up. No, I've been in a situation where they think that, and I be wishing that the respect could be mutual. Sometimes it be, but it'd be other times where a nigga always think it's because of them. Like, yeah, if it wasn't for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. Like, shout out my man Wolf, right? We did a clip that did like millions of views, right? And he just did a clip, and he said it felt good because we by himself. His podcast just did millions of views or whatever. And even then, I know that my platform helped the clip do 1 million, but I would never be like it was because of me, because I wasn't even talking. He was the one that was chopping it. He was the one that was spitting real game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it'd be other people who look at it like, yeah, man, if I wasn't on your platform, I wouldn't have did that. And I'd be like, bro, I done did this a million times. Who the common denominator? God damn. Like, give me my respect for real. But yeah, I don't know, man.
At the end of the day, it's all about a person's ability to, think outside of themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's a gift. And I can't knock people for being, self-centered. You know what I mean? You just gotta let them live, bro.
Yeah.
I just hope that it doesn't cause their own demise. Hope that people can eventually start seeing outside of themselves. So like, hey man, that's just the game. That's just the game.
This is fire, bro. I like doing this though.
Word.
I might have to come in here and do the live stream when we do it.
That's what's up. That'd be funny as hell.
Just be in the studio.
That'd be fucking
shit with JS1.
Hell yeah.
But no, I wouldn't do that because it wouldn't look right. I'm all about aesthetic too. Because if you're gonna be on the,
who doesn't know that? Everybody knows you about aesthetics.
No, I wouldn't.
Now, unless you want me to sit on my couch in my studio and then you sit, and then we be switching back and forth.
How would I hear you? I was just like,
it'd be the same thing. Oh yeah, it would be headphones. Yeah,
okay.
We would have to wear headphones at that point. It wouldn't mess up your waves, but you know what I'm saying. We would have to.
Nah, this is good,
that's something to think about.
We gave y'all 2 hours, about 2 hours, man. We can get out here, right? What you got?
Whenever you're ready, brother. Hey, nah. We actually ran through all of our little topics.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's nothing.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't really nothing else. I mean, if you the Cardi B thing, it's not. It's something crazy, but it ain't that crazy.
I think Cardi B. I just remember what you said.
Right.
So I don't know why, but I think
she just said she wanted to take the year off and she wanted to go on vacation and all that other stuff like that. I think it's just straight fear.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I feel like she needs to let go of other people's perception.
She hasn't dropped. Her last album came out 7 years ago. That's a long time. The industry has changed so much since the last time she dropped.
But
she has so many good records.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, bro. She still got it. I don't care what Cardi B is really one of them ones, bro. Like she makes really good music. And I think the reason she's scared is the reason why she makes really good music. And I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like she's too aware of what's going on beneath her. But that's why she make good music. Like, people gonna kill me for this.
Go ahead.
Cardi B almost reminds me of Drake when I think of personality. Like Drake you could tell Drake always got his ear to the streets. Right? Same with Cardi B. I feel like she's super tapped in. But on one side, Drake uses that to his advantage, right? When he's making music. And to another side, I feel like Cardi B allows that to be to her detriment. It's like, bro, you tapped in. That's why you can get out here and make songs with these girls that like people probably don't even know about. You know what I'm saying? And they be fire. But what happened is like she don't know how to let music live. Like, damn, they more similar than I think. Drake, right? It'd be a lot of times when Drake dropped music and people don't like it. 2 weeks go by, people love it. We seen it with what was it? Certified Lover Boy. We seen it with the little dance album. A lot of people still might not like that project now, but even
it still get burned in the club.
It grew on a lot of people. We seen it with a lot of his projects. 2 weeks later, people love it. Cardi B, on the other hand, she might drop a song and people might not like it, and then they'll start to like it. But before they get to start to like it, she's on the internet. Like I'll never forget when she dropped the Put It on the Floor remix. I think I might have been one of them. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. A week later, that's probably one of the hardest. She snapped. But sometimes music takes time to grow on you. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Cardi B, if she could just get out her own head, get out of these comments, bro, like just drop music and just let it go. Man, she's unstoppable. She's a force to be reckoned with.
As somebody that has to navigate the social media waves as a part of your job, is there a reasonable way to completely remove yourself? Like, say if you deleted Instagram and TikTok and all that from your phone, and then like me or your personal assistant just did it, and we don't tell you nothing about the comments, could you still function and it be successful, or do you need the social media to kind of gauge which direction to go?
Again, that's why we love Cardi though, because she's so relatable. And I feel like those things make her relatable, like Instagram and things like that. And at the same time, it's always new issues at different parts of your life. For example, right? I turned off my notifications, right? I still see them, but I turn them off. So it helps me. Like, it'd be times where I get messages that I really don't know until I open the app. I'm like, that's cool as hell. But so so now that got me to the point, and then like even with the comments on Wayno video, right? They're killing me, but I really don't care because I guess I'm already grew mentally for that position. Being in love with the process. It's things that happen to other people along my way, even though this never happened. Like this is my first time getting killed like this.
Mm-hmm.
But I was already mentally prepared for this because I seen it happen with so many other people along my way.
Mm-hmm.
So when this happened, I don't even look at the comments. Like I might see one or two and I might comment, but I'm over that. But you introduce something new. I never got like death threats. So now I'm getting death threats. And when I seen it, although I know it's not real, it was a second. It was like a quick second where I'm like, damn, bro, like this is crazy. I really was like, shit. But I got past it, but I can't ignore it. It was a new feeling that happened where it was like,
because there was somebody just saying you a bitch ass nigga versus.
But even that,
when I see you, I'm gonna kill you.
But even like bitch ass nigga, like seeing that in a DM versus the comment is weird. Like people are commenting on other posts. Like this is starting to like bleed into other stuff, and I'm like, this is crazy. But granted, I'm mentally strong enough to be like, I'm looking at like, yo, people are really invested in this, right? But I'd be lying if I didn't say like it was a split second where I'm like, I felt something like, damn, like niggas is not fucking with me right now. Like it was a second. I say that to say like, yeah, you could do things, but it's always going to be a new level. You got another hill you got to get over. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, I just think it's naturally who she is, but we love her for that. And it's just, I wish that she had somebody. I can't even say I wish she had somebody in her corner to force her to do it because, again, that drives you to resentment and things like that. But I wish it was somebody who she can hear because I'm pretty sure all of us is probably saying the same thing. But it's always that one person who will say the same thing in a different way for you to hear it. Mm-hmm. So I wish it was somebody that was in her corner that can say it in a way for her to hear it so she could be just like drop it. Because I'm pretty sure even if she could take a break, go on vacation, she probably already got the songs done. I'm pretty sure it don't take nothing. It was like, yo, y'all get the licenses and stuff together. I'm about to go out. Y'all can drop it whenever y'all want. I'm pretty sure she could do that. Mm-hmm. But she probably overthinking it like she might not be ready for the and I maybe understand that. She might not be ready for the rollout, having to do the interviews, having to, you know what I'm saying? She might not be ready for that. So we never know.
No, I definitely feel you on that. And that's amazing. I didn't know you have a collaboration post with me that's still like a recent one that I still see the comments on, and I've seen some kind of like sideways stuff, and I like, all right, whatever. But like, I can only imagine if somebody giving you death threats and all of those shit, like it would be a different response. And I've had to like, there have been times with somebody where I get a comment and it'll just be a little wild, and I'd be ready to jump out the window, and I have to be like, you know what? I mean, I've written a book before, and I had to like, let me delete this shit, bro, because I'm losing it.
I'm trying to see. It might not even be death threats necessarily, but like, let me see.
Nah, but even if it's just some like wild cursing you out, you know, disrespectful shit. It's like
you slow as fuck, my boy. That ain't that bad. But like, like it's like because I didn't know they got this hidden folder now, and like it's mad messages. I don't like this hidden folder.
Yo, this nigga, he got a day in a life of somebody that's got numbers. Please, if you trying to come up in this game, please understand that this is a real part of it. Yo, there are going to be people that you don't know, and sometimes people you do know.
It's a story. It says, "You such a disappointment. Why you dumb fucker? You base your opinions off of other people's opinions. Look, man, you dumb as fuck. Like this is." I can't like, damn. Bro, this is a post that I made about running and my health. Like, and this is like the other day. Man, Wayno post is like a week or so ago. It's really people like just sending me messages, just talking about how I ain't shit. Like I'm like, damn, bro. Like, but it's in a hidden
all
folder.
Over just conversation.
All over my opinion.
Going back and forth. But I mean, even when you made that conversation, we was having a conversation about when you were talking about Wayno, and you were talking about the Kendrick versus Drake shit, and you were saying, you were talking about how like Kendrick shouldn't be too complicated, nigga. That should have put niggas to sleep. I want to turn up, and niggas was killing you over that, and then the whole game turns, and then in your corner now. Notice how them niggas ain't come back to be like, you know what, I was wrong, my guy. You was really right. Like. That's why I be like, you just gotta let niggas live in a delusion, man.
Facts. I ain't tripping about these niggas. If I ain't getting no attention, then I should be worried. You feel me? Like, we
That's
got
a
real
fact.
motion over here. It is what it is.
That
man.
is a fact.
But what I will say though is one thing I was on the fence about. Again, I told you I'm big on first introductions. There's a lot of people under that post, like Charlemagne, my son, like a lot of people I would like to interview. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a good first introduction. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I was like kind of iffy about. I'm like, but at least it's some introduction. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if that's my first, like, no, nigga, I don't want to talk to you about no motherfucking music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
as long as you can stand on what you say, the debate is always a debate. If it's a bad take, let it be a bad take.
But it wasn't a bad take. The one that we talking about,
you just might have presented the take badly.
I couldn't really say why I didn't like it.
Right. You couldn't articulate the take the way you wanted to.
Yeah,
that's the only thing you got to work on. Outside of that, like, we all have bad take. I mean, we all have stuff that might be out there in the moment, and then it proves to be lit in hindsight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But sometimes you got to stand out on that ledge when you believe something.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was really. I wasn't. I'm just saying, like, that was the only thing I was like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's good, but it also could be bad because it was a lot of like, I mean, like, a lot of industry niggas. I'm like, damn, like, this shit type lit. Like, only if I was making some damn sense. But it is fire though. But whatever. It is what it is. Yo, you think you don't watch boxing? You don't
the fight coming up.
Now I was gonna ask you,
with your mans.
I was gonna ask you, did you
am I gonna put money down on Javante?
No, not Javante. I was gonna ask you, did you think that Jake Paul had a shot to beat Mike Tyson?
Yes.
Me too.
Is Jake Paul gonna win? No.
I think.
Does he have a shot to win? Hold on. Are you really gonna? Don't say that out. You about to say that out loud?
Yeah.
You about to say that Jake Paul gonna take out Tyson?
I think I would highly favor Jake Paul over Mike Tyson right now. At his stage.
All right. Can you give me 3 reasons?
I can give you only need one reason.
All right.
Have you seen Mike Tyson's last fight?
Yes.
It was boring. It wasn't like they wasn't even fighting.
It was a senior citizen match.
Yes. Who was he fighting? Was it the guy?
It was an older fighter, like
Junior,
him.
something. Roy Jones, right?
Yeah, right.
Make sure.
Right. No, you was right. Roy Jones Jr.
I remember that fight, and I thought like it was. I thought it was about to be good. I watched that shit. That shit was a waste of my time. Like, what are they doing? So I'm just thinking, like, if he got older, this was a couple years ago. So he's got older. Mike Tyson was who he was then, who he is now, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking, like, he ain't like, unless he was training for that whole time, but we thought that he was training then, like it was the same thing. We thought he was going to just come out there and demolish.
Now you don't feel like he was holding back? Because I really feel like Tyson was holding back during that fight.
I heard a lot of people saying Mike Tyson didn't want to go back into his older self because he didn't like that version of himself, like when he's fighting.
And that fight is an exhibition. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be like that.
That's a good point.
It wasn't meant to be like that. And he didn't. And he loves that guy. So like, I'm not about to destroy you, bro. Like, that's crazy. Now, the guy is taller, heavier, younger. Problem. He's gonna have to click into crazy guy mode.
So okay, but it's just hard for me because it's about what have you done lately. It's hard for me to see that
right
now when the last thing I saw was like
the senior fight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Granted, I've had memories of Mike Tyson demolishing people.
Right.
The last time I seen him, that wasn't it. And to be honest, be quite frank, the last time I seen him before that, it wasn't the Mike Tyson I wanted to see either. I think he fought Lennox Lewis.
It wasn't good. Yeah, I saw that.
It was bad.
It wasn't good.
You feel me? So I'm not about
but
to sit here and say,
still talking about a world-class fighter going against world-class fighters.
Yeah.
Jake Paul is not a world-class fighter.
Guess what? Guess what else he ain't?
What?
He ain't an MMA fighter either.
True.
And he knocking these niggas out, like getting them out of the way. I mean, I might be a dickhead. This might be another video that don't age well.
Right.
I'm just saying, in my opinion, because of the last fight that I seen Mike Tyson in with Roy Jones. No, and then didn't Roy Jones have another fight after that? That was like virtual, like some like And
it didn't happen. Let's not even. It didn't happen.
I'm tired. I'm sick of these niggas. I hope this ain't that.
I disagree with. I'm entertained. I'm all ready for this. I'm all ready for this because it's not enough going on in boxing with the top guys for me to be like tapped in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a time when you used to get something every couple of months.
Yeah.
Now it's like, all right, you had, what was the last fight, a month
Tyson
ago?
Fury just fought. He just lost to how you pronounce his name? Usyk. Like,
right.
That was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was a month or two ago, right?
No, that was just like yesterday or day before yesterday. Like, we've been having some pretty. What happens is, and this is what I can contest. So I understand what I'm saying. When it comes to the names, I guess like famous names,
right?
Javante Tank Davis, maybe what's the guy? Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford.
Right.
All right, it could seem so if you only focus on us, because that's how I was. But the more I'm getting into it, it's so many other fights that are happening, like Usyk and Tyson Fury. That was a big fight.
Gotcha.
We got, Tank is about to fight. He's a big name. We just had Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. That's a big fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we are having these fights. It's just you would have to be a fan of boxing. And not a fan of like each individual, which I'm just starting to grow out of. So I understand it, because I be missing the fights. I'm like, yo, what the hell? I ain't know these niggas was fighting.
Right.
Like, what the like?
All right, okay. You making a good point. But for us fly by night boxing fans,
yeah.
You know, this is a spectacle.
Yeah, for sure.
And we enjoy this. And then like it's on Netflix. It's like live. Like, believe me, I done already talked to the homies. Everybody coming over. We got drinks. We got food. Like, it's about to be something.
So do we have to pay for it on Netflix?
No, you don't have to pay for it.
That's dope as hell.
Yeah, you get to be able to enjoy it.
It's like in a month though, right?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That's not a long time.
Wait, no.
You'll be done ran 20,000 miles.
Or June 20th?
Don't get me the line like I remember.
Because I think Tank might fight before. God, they fight for
Tank does. I think the Tank fights before them. Like, you know
bro,
what I'm saying?
It might be July 20th, bro.
Don't do that. Let's see. Netflix.
July 20th. Damn.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's 2 months away, right?
That's wild. I swore it was coming a lot sooner than that.
Yeah, because I think Tank fight in June. Saturday,
July the 20th. I might be in a conference at that weekend too. That's crazy. I thought it was in June. Hold up. All right.
Nah, Tank versus Martin is June 15th. That's crazy. Yeah,
that's gonna be lit, bro. So all right, make sure. Now, is that a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
It's gonna be $65.
No, a Tank probably. I don't even know, because he could sell that.
Can you get us free tickets to go?
I don't know.
That's your man. That's all.
I'm still trying to get a Tank interview again, man.
What's wrong with that? This should be the prime time to do it. He about to do a fight. No,
man, we out,
they bluffing.
We get y'all 2+ hours, bro.
Let's go. Of me saying you should get the interview and him sucking his teeth. Like, ain't this some bullshit?
I see y'all next. We see y'all next Sunday. Maybe sooner.
Oh yeah.
Holla at you later. We out.